Welcome to Backpacker Radio, presented by the Trek, brought to you by LMNT. I am your co-host, Zach Badger Davis. Sitting to my right is...
I am Juliana Chaunce, a.k.a. Chaunce.
Okay, so what is this about you backing out of a bet?
Okay, yeah. So first off, congrats to both of us.
Yeah. Well, this will be a fun time travel because this will be 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I hope the joy lasted for at least one of us, preferably me.
I will say before we get to that part, I'm playing with house money at this point. You've been to the playoffs a lot in the last 5+ years. This is uncharted territory in that same time span, and we just beat the Packers. So if we lost by 80 points this week, I'm still a happy man with the season, very much so, which is, I know, loser mentality.
No, that's good.
Yeah, but nothing can happen from here on out aside from like a devastating injury or something to that effect.
I'm also pleased if things go the way they could go, because apparently, and this took some follow-up questions for me to believe, but apparently the last time the Bills have
excuse me,
won a have
we
gone
need to zoom
on
in
okay,
on Jess's
the first time the Bills have gone on past their first round in the playoffs since I was born, apparently. Because I asked Garrett how that makes any sense, because they've been winning the division, so they've had the bye week
for a while. Yeah, if you got one of the top 2 seeds, you got the bye week.
And then they would come and they'd lose the first game.
They haven't gotten past their first game?
According to the internet I saw, it said not since 1992.
I might throw up the challenge flag on that one.
Fact check me.
Okay.
I'll fill the space with my voice.
Can we bet a shot of whiskey on this?
Yes.
You can do a Chaunce shot.
No, I will do it. I will do it because I'm about to give some sad news, which is that I did bring up our bet to my dad about if the Bears win versus if the Bills win, and your ass tattoo and me shaving my head at Christmas, because I was like, isn't this funny? I have not seen him as angry as he got since I was in high school. I was worried I'd give him another stroke. And I was like, Dad, it's funny. Like, and my hair's already short. It's just a few more inches. He was like spitting mad. Very angry man.
Yeah.
So my inner child is afraid, and I might pull out of my side of the bet. And I just want to give you the heads up before we win, because if I pull out after we win and I didn't give you a heads up, then I just look like a sore winner. We could find something else.
I would have gone the other way with it, honestly. I would have, because the odds of them winning the Super Bowl are still small. So you could have just played it off like you were going to do it the entire time.
I can't lie. I can't lie. I cannot lie.
You can. Let's see. Okay, so they won the wild card, obviously, last week. They won the AFC divisional round in 25, the AFC wild card in 24 against the Dolphins, again in 23 against the Steelers. So it's been a few times.
What was the stat I read? Maybe they haven't won more than the first one?
Jess, could you do us a favor?
Fuck, I don't remember the stat now. Are you able to reach
the whiskey up there?
Garrett, what was the stat? Garrett, where are you? Garrett.
I hope you
what was the stat about the Bills?
It's so dusty.
Yeah.
Not going further than something round since
take a pull?
1992.
Are you okay with taking a pull instead of the shot glass?
Fine. Okay. I just royally fumbled it on air and am about to do a shot as a punishment. Please redeem me.
All right. Well, I don't want to get too deep into the football chatter here, since
because it's so irrelevant.
We're not even in football season anymore for
hopefully the Sages
present day listeners, but we will definitely have to do some sort of follow-up, provided one of our teams goes far enough to have real emotions.
I think we go. If we both get to the Super Bowl, I think this is a make a stupid decision and deal with the repercussions later kind of thing. What do you think?
Well, it's a hefty credit card swipe.
Yeah.
It's not like a we'll figure it out later sort of situation. I feel like I'm talking to Jenna right now.
Why is Jenna the
Jenna's
me?
more of the impulsive person. I'm more of like the, nope, we actually have to figure it out.
You don't think you'll ever pay it off?
It's not going to bankrupt me. That's not the conversation that I'm having.
You don't think by the end of the year you'd have it paid off?
That's not how I make these decisions.
For the Bears Super Bowl?
Yeah, but like I've got kids and stuff. Like there's
Bam. Bam.
pay the kids.
Yeah, bring them.
Bring the kids.
Bring them.
Yeah, get some extra tickets.
Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do a follow up if it warrants, but I imagine people don't want to hear our football takes on February 23rd at this point.
Nope. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
I do just want to say that I'm very happy with how the season has gone.
Oh man, it's been so good.
Okay, a few reminders before we get to today's panel, very Appalachian Trail-y panel. First is, if you're taking on a trek this year and you want to be part of the baddest team in the backcountry, we would love for you to apply to be a Trek blogger and or vlogger, typically or. You get to be part of the Trek's private community of thru-hikers. We've got a few very busy IG chats happening right now. Every time I open up Instagram, it's like, bzz, 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 bzz. It's like my vibrator. You get access to discounted and potentially free gear, especially for our vloggers. Mail drops. We probably sent out, what, did you say 15 mail drops last year?
Oh, more than that.
Yeah?
25-ish.
Okay. Sending out lots of mail drops. And at the end of the year, we'll fly at least one person out to join us right here on the podcast, fly you out, put you up, and that'll be taken from the blogger team or the vlogger team. Just kind of depends on whoever is the most compelling. The link to apply for either of those is in the show notes. Jess, am I leaving anything out there?
You get my special exclusive monthly newsletter.
That's right.
Which is my pride and joy, my little baby.
People love that.
People being me.
And the people that receive it, but yes.
Yes, I got good scores on the survey.
Got great scores.
What do you put on it?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. I get to do little shout outs to the bloggers, get to do all my little Trek propaganda, telling everybody, like, oh, you have this opportunity, sign up for this, yada, yada.
Ooh.
People like it.
Opportunities for content that we run through the Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good stuff. Next is, if you're watching this on YouTube, well, if you're not, you should be. And if you are, please like, comment, subscribe. I think specifically subscribe is the most important one. But I'm going to try something new here. I'm going to give a comment prompt. I want people to let us know in the comments, who do you want to see on the podcast this year?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
2026.
We do get we get a lot of our best guest recommendations from you guys, people that were not on either of our radars. So we take those seriously.
It's impossible to know everyone everywhere, but it's possible for a lot of us to know someone somewhere.
True.
And another perk for the YouTube for this episode is that was not my best performance taking down a shot, and it was like Anderson Cooper on New Year's, if you watch the video.
Not only do I watch the video, we watch the CNN New Year's every year because I love watching Cooper take shots. Yeah.
Him this year with the dummy that looked like it had a stroke.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
The ventriloquist dolls that they had.
I missed that.
My God. We're getting less relevant as time goes right now.
Yeah.
Being that it's February 23rd. We're talking about the New Year's
Anderson
show.
Cooper taking shots is evergreen in my book.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Yes.
You can tell that's somebody that drinks one day out of the year. He has like 4 shots and it completely wrecks him.
Well, I was thinking about it while I was processing that in my mouth, which was, when was the last time I've done a whiskey shot? And it's been a while.
Yeah.
You were mid-whiskey shot thinking about Anderson Cooper?
No, I was mid-whiskey shot thinking, when was the last time I've done a whiskey shot? This is horrible. And then there was the aftertaste tasted after for a while more than it usually feels like it does. Maybe it's because I'm stone cold sober at the moment and have just cracked my beer, but
an oaky afterbirth.
They haven't made it past the second round of the playoffs since 1992. The second round of the playoffs, not the first.
Okay.
Close.
And yeah, 1 round.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. I will say that is also kind of surprising to me, but I don't think I would throw the challenge flag up on that one.
But yeah, so I'm nervous going into Saturday.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. Anyway, follow us on YouTube.
Last but not least, if you enjoy the show and you want to support us, you can do so. Patreon.com/backpackerradio. You get every episode advertisement free. So if that's your sort of thing, please go there. For as little as $5 per month also, which is in today's economy, that's like no money. $5 used to be a lot.
Here's a fun thing. We haven't touched on this angle yet, a new one. If you are listening because you're a hiker and maybe you have a sibling, partner, parent, someone hiker that's going to be doing a hike this year, I imagine like 2026 AT tips, the people listening to this will be probably ones that will be hiking. What better gift to get someone who will be spending 6 months on trail then Backpacker Radio ad free, because you know they'll be listening to it on trail. You know it'll give them good information. You know it'll give them something to talk about and think about and, you know, feel the community on. Why not gift that to someone? That's such a cheap gift in today's gifting climate. If they're on a 6-month thru hike and you gift them 6 months of ad-free Backpacker Radio, that's $30. Shouldn't have had to pause to think about that math, but it's $30 for a summer where you're hiking a trail, and every week when you put on the episode, you don't need to pull your phone out of your fanny pack that your phone hardly fits in, and it's annoying, and it moves your snacks, and then you're worried about dropping something, and then you slow down your pace, and then you think maybe I should take a break, and you sit down, and then your whole day's ruined. You wouldn't have had to do that if you didn't have to skip past the ads. So,
well, no one skips past the ads. The people listen to them and don't enjoy them.
But if you were to do that.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Not that people do.
They don't.
No one does.
Never in the history of
our advertisers are listening to this.
They definitely
no one does
don't.
That. You know what? I've never done that for Backpacker Radio.
Yeah.
I have done it for other podcasts.
Well, for other podcasts,
so
obviously.
I could see how someone could come into this as a new listener and not know how good the ads are.
Right.
But you could avoid all of that by gifting them Patreon.
Kind of dug your way out of that one. That was good work.
I thought it was a nice new twist.
Yeah.
When you sweat, you lose a lot more than water. You're burning through sodium, potassium, magnesium, all the stuff your body needs to keep going strong on trail, thinking clearly, and sleeping well at night. That's why I'm a huge fan of LMNT. It's a zero-sugar electrolyte mix with a science-backed ratio that's heavy on sodium, which is exactly what thru-hikers and long-distance backpackers are losing all day long. No sugar, no junk, just what your body actually needs. When I'm backpacking, I'll usually drink one LMNT throughout the day and then have another packet before bed. It helps me rehydrate, keeps the leg cramps away, and I'll wake up feeling like $1 million. Another underrated benefit, LMNT makes those dodgy water sources actually taste good. If you've ever filtered from a silty creek, a cow tank, or some lukewarm pipe coming out of the ground, you know how clutch that is. It's not just an on-trail thing either. LMNT is my go-to hangover prevention tool. One packet before bed, another in the morning, and you wake up hitting the erase button on a night of bad decisions. My favorites are lemonade, raspberry, and citrus. A cold LMNT lemonade on a hot day tastes like absolute heaven. And the citrus works shockingly well as a no-calorie mix-in for a backcountry margarita, perfect while car camping, or the lazy version at home. Good news, Backpacker Radio listeners can score a free LMNT sample pack with any drink mix purchase by going to drinklmnt.com/thetrek. That sample pack includes citrus salt, raspberry salt, watermelon salt, and orange salt. 2 stick packs of each flavor, 8 total. No coupon code needed. Just use the URL. Again, that's drinklmnt.com/thetrek to get 8 free packets with any drink mix purchase. The deal is only available for a limited time.
All right, let's get to today's panel. This is, I want to say, is this the 4th edition? This is, I think, the 4th edition of Tips for Appalachian Trail thru-hikers. This one specifically for the class of 2026. That being said, because Chaunce and I are a wealth of thoughts and information and knowledge and words, we are making a point to not retrace any steps from previous podcasts. I have 1 asterisk on that. But our panelist, our third panelist today, Jess, obviously you've heard the podcast many times. She wasn't given that information, so she might be retreading some of the steps, but she has a fresh perspective, and we'll hear it through her voice, and it'll be awesome. I'll give the brief intro for Jess here. Jess is the community marketing manager at the Trek, has hiked the AT Long Trail and Wonderland Trail, and is a big fan of wearing the colors green and purple.
This is true, and I am wearing green right now.
I never specifically noticed that. I always compliment your green or purple, but I didn't notice it to the point that it was, your description worthy.
Yeah, I honestly didn't notice until you started calling out how often I wear green and purple.
Yeah, no, that was. As the person that wrote this wonderful intro, that was the first thing that jumped out about you.
You're like, what could I say about you? Yeah.
Loves green, loves purple. But I can't throw any shade because
You're wearing green.
Not only am I wearing green, I went back to look at the last AT tips that we had, and I was wearing the exact same. I literally had to change because I'm like, I can't be wearing the same thing.
Was it the dino shirt?
No, I was wearing an orange sweatshirt, so I took that off.
It was the exact same orange sweatshirt.
Yes. Yeah. The hole in the elbow wasn't quite as big, but yeah. And I was also wearing a Bears hat. So
Well, thank you for letting them know that time has passed.
time has passed. You can probably tell by the increased smile lines and lack of joy for life. But yeah, we're just going to give a quick overview of some of the topics we talked about in the 3 previous episodes. So if you want to hear more on these, we will include the link to those episodes in the show notes. Please do give a listen. But I don't even know how to say this without just giving it as a list, so I'll just give it as a list.
Fire.
Yeah. Train vertically. Get a shakedown before starting the trail. Don't start too early. Permethrining your clothes. There's not a better way to say that. Make sure to dry out your gear while you're hiking on trail. Figuring out your footwear, which cell provider to get for your hike. Give shelters a shot. I don't remember that one. Don't pre-plan resupplies on the AT. Don't carry too much water. Strategize your days around rain when convenient. Avoid the town experiences in the beginning. Don't overplan. Don't rush to find your trail family. Experience the social bubble and allow yourself to pivot. Don't take things too seriously. Document your hike. Let family and friends know when you won't be having service. Have some type of game plan for post-trail life. Focus on electrolytes. And that's not just an element plug. I had a very bad experience with hyponatremia on the AT. Add 1/3 to 1/2 to your estimated budget. And generally keep a stricter budget.
Shelters was me. It was because you poo-poo them all the time, and I had a great time in them.
I do poo them.
So I wanted to
We agree to
overshadow your
disagree, but
poo-pooing.
different strokes, different folks.
Can you briefly describe why you poo-poo the shelters?
It's just not for me. I don't sleep well. There's always one person in there who is snoring louder than life. If there are mosquitoes in the area, you don't have protection from that necessarily. They're loud. People come in at like 1 a.m. If there's like a group of people that are cliquey, they can be really chatty if you're trying. It's just like you're accommodating you're working with a bunch of other people's schedules. Whereas if you're in your tent, you get to do your own thing.
You're taking a bus instead of driving your own car. You have to sit around other people and be considerate in that. Instead of in your own car, it's just your space.
True. Yeah. No, if there was no environmental concerns with bus versus car, of course everyone would take a car, right? Would you prefer a bus?
Well, shift the analogy back. I say give shelters a try because I hate mornings. I am not a morning person. Yeah. And when I thru-hike, I have to wake up earlier than I normally would ever want to. And I hate that. And I hate myself in the moment. And I hate everything about when I'm doing that day in the moment. And I wake up just like, ooh, hate this. But if you sleep in a shelter, you don't have to pack up a tent. And if it rains, you don't have to pack up a wet tent. And for me, being someone that knows myself and knows how much I hate mornings, I would rather listen to someone snore all night if given the opportunity and not weirded out by the crew already in there. I would rather not pack up a tent.
Yeah.
I would skip that chore.
That is a nice perk.
Other perk, if you're 5'1" and a woman, someone intrudes, you get an intruder in camp, I'm probably not the first one that needs to respond. Right? If a rando comes in scaring everyone, or a bear comes in, or something happens, call me old-fashioned, but I don't think that everyone's going to point at me and say, you handle it.
Quick,
So,
Chaunce.
right.
I was going to say, now I want a section hike with Chaunce, and like somebody comes in and Jess and I hide behind
Dude,
Chaunce.
I'm freaking snoozing. I'm not waking up. Wake me up when you need me. You know, like it's not going to be first.
Yeah.
I'm not going to volunteer. So yeah, the safety element too. Whereas if I'm in my tent by myself and something intrudes, like I have to handle it. I sleep better at night knowing I might not have to handle something.
Fair.
I'm pro shelter for all the same reasons.
Yeah.
I like not having an extra task. I don't want to have to break down my tent if I don't have to. Also in the winter when my fingers are so cold, they're numb, that actually like putting away my tent itself sucks. I had a freestanding tent.
Yeah.
I'm happy to avoid that.
Yeah.
I can also like cuddle up against strangers in a creepy way
Yes.
and steal their warmth, which is
Yeah.
good for me.
There you go. There's
You
another
just gave me another
pro
reason why I
shelters.
don't like shelters.
Another pro.
stranger's
Another,
warmth.
Excuse me, another pro for shelters. Women will just cuddle up on you. Sorry.
BYOW. Just
Bring your own women. BYOC, bring your own cuddles. I'm bringing mine.
wasn't sure where the C was going there. All right.
Specifically cuddles.
I'm going to give a quick bonus tip to Jess's point. Pack gloves, especially for the early season, because, breaking down a tent with bare hands does fucking suck quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yes, Jess, you're listed first. Kick us off.
All right. My number one tip is I believe it's really important to find a meaningful way to document your hike and then commit to doing it. Obviously, I am biased as I am the person that handles the blogging and vlogging programs here, but I actually do believe this is really important. For me, on all my hikes, I've always vlogged my hikes, and I've really enjoyed having not only the extra creative task to go back and edit the footage and string together a story over the course of my day. I'm grateful that I did that because I can go back and look at any given day on my hike, and I can remember that day as if it happened yesterday, and I can laugh at the same jokes and all that stuff. So I think it's really important, and I do believe that folks tend to rely on like the short-term gratification when they're on trail because they're so exhausted. So, you know, they're hiking to the next town, maybe they don't want to journal that night, or like vlogging is a pain in the ass and they don't want to deal with all the footage, and they let it, you know, stop. They stop journaling, whatever, and then 6 months pass and they have nothing to look back on except photos. So memories fade. I think it's important to commit to a documentation style, even if it is slightly a pain in the ass. Find what works for you.
Totally agreed. And at bare minimum, keep like a notes app and just jot down your thoughts. Like, you don't have to have a polished blog or vlog, but just like having some sort of record keeping of your day, I think will be something that you cherish for a very long time.
Absolutely. I also think it's totally fair to try some different things, like try journaling, try vlogging, try blogging, and if one doesn't work for you, maybe another way might. So don't be afraid to experiment with your documentation style. Also, if you overcommit, it's totally cool to pare back.
100%.
Yeah, I'm pro vlog. It's like, why wouldn't you're going out there to do this? Why wouldn't you want to be able to look back on it and see it again when you're no longer out there? Like, so many of these places are so hard to reach. I know the AT less so than other trails, but okay, let's say Maine, 100-mile wilderness. When are you going to be back out there? So if you want to remember how something looked like, it's nice to be able to have that to look back on. With vlogging, I always tried to take pictures or videos of signs when I'd get to an intersection or reach a sign. And what's really nice about that is in the future, or I guess now the past, when I've gone and been like, oh, where was that spot? Oh, what was that thing? Where was that place we had lunch? I can go back to these videos and scroll through them and find the 2 trail markers on either side of them and be like, that was between there and there, cross-check it with my maps and be like, oh my God, that's where I had that exact thing right there. And it's very cool to be able to go back and do that and not just have it be lost in the memory game, you know, because like with future hikes, I can't even remember what order some of the towns were in after time has passed. Like there's a Northern California area where it's like those 3 towns could be in any order in my brain at this point. So yeah, totally agree. And my next one, or my first one, is a piggyback on Jess's, which I have firsthand experience on both, I believe both the PCT and the AT. Definitely the AT, screwing up. My first one is regularly upload your photos and videos to the cloud. So if you're blogging and vlogging, great. If you're not, even more so. Either one, regularly upload your photos and videos to the cloud. Just add the Google Drive subscription. Add it. Put it in your budget. Add it in. Regularly upload your photos and videos to the cloud. For example, when I did the AT, my phone screen went completely dead in Harper's Ferry, and I had to find a way to a Verizon, get a new phone, and that just like had to happen. My phone screen did not work. I did not regularly upload my photos and videos to the cloud. Thank God I blog, vlog, whatever, because my photos from the first half of my hike largely exist in the form of what I posted on Instagram. Everything else is on that phone that I mailed home at Harper's Ferry, got tucked in a drawer, stayed in my parents' house until they sold that house and moved upstate. Couldn't tell you where that phone is now. So if I want to look back on anything from that first half of my hike, it will be something I posted on Instagram or something I posted on YouTube, and the rest of it does not exist. So heed my warning, especially if you're not someone that wants to hike publicly and wants to not blog and vlog and wants to be very private about it. Regularly upload your photos and videos to the cloud. Take a 0 day to do it periodically. Work on 3 0 days, 4 0 days, 1 a month. I don't know. Make a 1 a month day that you say, I'm going to connect to the cloud this day, And I don't care what happens. I'm going to stay connected to the cloud and check on this and make sure these suckers upload, because you're going to kick yourself for years to come, as I do.
I don't even know, is that more complicated than just buying like the premium, whether it's Drive or iCloud or whatever it might be? Is it more complicated than just buying that and then being on Wi-Fi? Like, does it upload to the cloud automatically, or is that something you have to manually do?
You have to have it selected to upload to the cloud automatically. I would intentionally not do that, because I turn mine off. With me taking videos and photos and all that, when they upload to the cloud automatically, they're not also staying downloaded on your phone. So I would get to a town and it would be time for me to edit my video to post, or me to edit like a slew of photos for Instagram, and they'd all have that cloud symbol, and then I'd have to re-download them. And downloading all those videos in town is just as hard as uploading them, you know? And it's like, now I've got this time in town, I have to wait for things to download. If my phone screen goes idle, it stops downloading. If I switch this, you know, all that shit, where it was just like, I can't do this. I can't have it do that. And then if I want to reference something to someone I'm hiking with, I can't open that photo because I'm on trail and there's no reception and it's blurry. So I turned it off, because I was like, this is eating battery and it's not productive to what I'm trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my phone screen broke and now I don't have any of those. So regularly upload your photos and videos to the cloud. I don't care where. Just find a space on the cloud and do it.
It's good.
Yes.
I like that.
I feel very passionately about it.
Clearly. My first tip is don't start with a trail name. And I mean that in the context of this being your first thru hike, if you haven't already received a trail name. And this is coming from somebody who gave himself his own trail name. And I did this purely to keep my trail persona consistent with my online persona. My website at the time was called The Good Badger. In hindsight, one, that was cringy.
Yeah.
It's a cringy reason to do that. But two, it robbed me of the opportunity to have like a fun trail story associated with the trail name, which, like, being here in this seat, having people in the studio, getting the answer to that question is always so much fun for me. And to be like, yeah, my name's Badger, I gave that to myself, is kind of, if I could go back and do it again, I would.
If you could go back and you did not, have started with a trail name, you didn't start with a trail name, what do you think the trail name you would have gotten would have been, and what would have been the reason?
I have no idea, but I do also, to that question, want to offer to listeners, people who don't have like the thru-hiking experience, which I imagine is a large percentage of people, that I think there's a lot of fear that like someone's going to give you a trail name that you hate and you just have to take it because they're imposing a trail name on you. That is not how it works. It's a name. Like, you get ultimate veto power. I think possibly that was part of the fear for me. I know for a fact that the guy that I started with was like very sensitive to that. So he waited till he got on trail, but then kind of like self-assigned himself a trail name. I've seen it happen a lot of times where people are like sensitive to the idea that something embarrassing or potentially something that they're insecure about will ultimately end up being their trail name. That's not how it works. That being said, if something embarrassing happens to you on trail and that turns into a trail name, those make for the best trail names.
Like, yeah, embrace it for sure.
Totally. Yeah. Have a sense of humor about it. And again, I realize I'm being hypocritical with giving myself my own trail name, but like, again, if I could go back and do it over, I would not do that. I feel I'm hiked too much now to have a new trail name. I'm not going to do that either, but
yeah. Honestly, I didn't know that you had given yourself your own trail name.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm definitely going to bully you for it.
You should.
Yeah.
Chaunce.
I was born with this name.
Yeah, that's actually just your name.
Yeah. Sorry. Bully me for having a name.
Well, you decided that your trail name was your name, which is potentially 1,000 times lamer.
And I decided to be picky and not accept anything because nothing suited my
This
fancy.
is exactly the point that I'm making, viewer, listener, that it's more fun to have a trail-related story be the onus of your name, as opposed to just like I am, but... yeah, so if you're on the fence about it, like if this is something that you're insecure about or you're worried that you're going to get a name that you don't like, again, remember, this is a name. You get veto power, but all of the best trail names happen on trail and are tied to some like story that's going to happen in the most random way on trail, and it will be something that you laugh about for a long time. So
I got a trail name before I came to the AT. Did I ever tell you what my original trail name was?
No.
Memory exercise?
I don't think so.
It was Tuna Pants.
This sounds actually vaguely familiar. I don't remember the story, though.
Yeah, I mean, straight up was just that I was eating tuna out of a bag like a psycho, and I spilled tuna juice all over my pants, and then...
This was before the AT?
This was before the AT.
This is like high school this happened?
No, this was like early college, like first few backpacking trips.
Yeah. Tuna pants could have a lot of connotations.
I know,
to
it was
it.
terrible. And I almost took it with me to the AT just because I love the story so much. It's
Yeah.
so funny. And it's way better than, like, Sassafras is not my trail name, and it's a way better story than Sassafras.
I forget, what is the story?
That was just like we were hiking over a mountain that had no name, and Sassafras Mountain in Georgia is notoriously a bitch. And the mountain had no name. We were like, God, this mountain sucks. What is this, Sassafras Mountain? Then the joke became like all unnamed mountains were Sassafras. I was unnamed. I got Sassafras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Again, not as good as just being some tuna pants bitch. I thought it was really funny.
Tuna pants is pretty good.
Yeah, it's really funny.
That is, yeah. We can reconsider this one for you. Okay. Tip number 2.
Cool. All right. So again, do you guys talk about this one before? I can't remember.
We did, but
Yeah, it's
I
worth
think
talking about.
this point in particular, I think, is important enough that it bears repeating.
And it continues. For whatever reason, it boggles my mind that folks continue to debate about this in the Facebook groups, and it's
Sure.
insane to me. It must be the same people every year, but
Yeah.
my tip is to train. Oh my God, please train. Know your body mainly is my thing. If you know you have weak ankles, weak feet, if you know you have lower back issues, or like your core is weak, like if you know that you get pain after certain exercises or after prolonged workouts, then train those parts on your body. If you need to, go see a PT, figure out what exercises you need to do to strengthen those small muscles, because when you start hammering them day after day after day, they're going to wear out. They're going to get really painful for you, and then you're either going to have to take time off trail and hope that it recovers, or you're just going to have to get off trail entirely because it turned into an injury. And even like the injury proneness aside, even the knowing your bodiness aside, it's just a good practice to start getting your body acclimated to moving more, to strength training, resistance training, the Stairmaster, climbing hills, or, wearing a weighted vest on the treadmill. Just do the things that your body is going to be doing 3-4 months from now. Why do you want to go from sitting in a chair all day, barely moving, to all of a sudden now you're walking 10 plus miles every day? That just sounds bad for your body. It's a bad time.
Yeah. I'm going to steel man the argument for those who are on the other side of it. Ultimately, I do agree with you, but I downplay the importance of training in Appalachian Trails. I don't say don't train. But one is that, like, you hear dozens of stories every year of people who like went from the couch to finishing the AT. Like, obviously training isn't required to finish the AT. Like, you can be a couch potato, hit the trail, provided you do it smartly. Like, if you go into the trail and you are not in good shape and you're hiking consecutive 16-mile days out the gate, like, something's going to break down pretty quickly. The other is, there's a lot of context as to like who you are, whether you're in good shape or not is one element. The other is like, are you a 22-year-old guy starting the trail who's like not morbidly obese? Because that's very different than somebody who's 62 starting the trail. Like, the need for training is different in both of those circumstances, because the younger person is going to bounce back after a small injury, or they'll get more physically fit as the trail happens, versus somebody who is heavier, or somebody who is older is more prone to wearing down, injuries, etc. So you don't have to train, but ultimately I very much agree with you in that, like, the worst case scenario with training is you're making the earlier transition to the trail so much easier. Like, if this is your first long distance backpacking trip, odds are there's going to be a lot of stressful moments. This is the first time that you've experienced like inclement weather, first time doing consecutive long mile days, first time really like using your gear in various situations and learning how it's going to fail on you. You don't need the additional stress of feeling like shit for the first 2 to 3 weeks of the trail. Like, if you do at least like a moderate amount of training, you can curb a lot of the actual physical pain associated with the trail just by doing that prep work. And I think, like, if you're going to do any sort of training, aside from one of my tips here, training physically is the most important thing, like, compared to like obsessing over your gear or like getting drilled down into the logistics, especially for the AT. Like, physically training is going to be the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, I think the need for training is definitely, I mean, again, like you said, you see it all the time. You see folks getting off the couch and hopping on the AT.
Yeah.
But I think at that point you're playing the odds. You're just like really hoping that your body's going to adjust to it.
Yeah.
And I keep coming back to the argument of, like, if you're about to take on this huge physical undertaking, then
probably quitting your job or
yeah, exactly.
rearranging your life.
Precisely. There's also like the mental side of, now you're training. Now, okay, my body's used to this. I know I can do this. I've done hard things in the last few months. I can do this hard thing that starts tomorrow.
Yep. Totally agreed.
Yeah. If you want to watch the beginning of my PCT hikes on YouTube, you can see what it looks like to not train and start a hike. I thought it was a good idea. It wasn't. It was very painful, and I probably annoyed the person I was hiking with by just being incapable of doing the miles that they thought was reasonable. And I probably could have very well done them had I not been a lazy donut fiend leading up to it. But even in the first video, there's a part I remember of just like laying in the dirt being like, how am I going to go any further? And in the second video and in the third video, and then I started putting braces on my knees and my ankles because it hurt to do anything. And then I like couldn't bend my knees going downstairs in town. Like there was 3 steps going into a Walgreens in Tehachapi, I think. And I remember them. You know, like when there's a couple of steps going into a post office, you shouldn't remember how many steps go up to a post office. But that was like halfway through the hike when I'm remembering these post office steps. There was an Etna post office, I think. And it's because by the time I did get my trail legs, I was already freaking hurt. You know, like I had already hurt myself and I didn't have time to heal because I'm hiking every day. It was a terrible decision. I tried it so you don't have to. Just train.
Just train.
Just do it.
Train.
Okay, mine. My second one is don't marry your start date. I know a lot of people like love to pick a date because the numbers are fun or because it's when they did a hike before. I tried to do that. I started the PCT on April 3rd, and so I really wanted to start the AT on March 3rd. My favorite number's 3. I thought, 3rd day of the month, that's great. And then the person who I was staying with, shout out to Josh, had sent me a message leading up to my start date being like, yo, we're supposed to get like some crazy storms and like a freeze the night before. I don't think you should start hiking that day. And I was like, haha, I've done a hike before. I'm going to do it anyway. And it wasn't until he was like, my buddy will let us stay in his cabin the night before for free. Don't start this day. That I was finally like, okay, I'll push back one day, you know? And even that was just like me. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to push back at all. But I accepted and I said, okay. And so many people quit the night that I was supposed to start hiking.
And by the first day?
Yeah, like because it was fucking cold. Like their shoes froze, and that was their first day on trail. There was a freeze that happened. It was below 0 with the wind chill. Like, you know, it's raining, and so many people quit that first day. And I started immediately the next day because I was like, storm's gone, I'm going. And by the time I got to Neil Gap, so many more people had quit. Like I pushed it to get to Neil Gap by the end of day 2 to give you an example of what training can do for you. Because I didn't want to sleep with -0 winds or below 0 wind chill on like near Blood Mountain. So I pushed it to get there in time. So many people quit because it was just like, I've dreamed of this. I've idolized this. I've seen all this stuff about it. It's supposed to be so cool. I got out here and my first 3 days were rain and freezing cold, and I can't stop because I'm too cold to sit still. And I'm not enjoying any of this, and my feet hurt, and they've not been dry yet, and I need to go home, right? Like, the only reason I had to push to Neil Gap by the end of the second day was because I was being so stubborn that I couldn't just wait until maybe the 6th of March. I wouldn't have dealt with any of that if I just started the 6th. And this goes back to a previous tip of add a third to a half extra to your budget if you can, if you plan ahead enough. Because I could have been like, hey, I'm flying in on this day. My flight's booked. I can't change it. I need to start this day. Or I could have been like, I have it in my budget to change my flight and pay the fee. Or I could have had it in my budget to be like, I'm going to land this day because my flight's not changeable, but I'm going to stay in a motel for 3 nights until the storm passes and the weather goes back up. You know? I just don't, in retrospect, I don't. For me, it was good because I already knew what I was getting into. It wasn't my first or second hike, but if it's your first one and you're new to it and you don't know how you do in really shit weather situations all the time, that's a very good example where it might be something where it's like, yeah, you know, the number sounds cool because your favorite number's 4 and you're starting on 4-4. But what doesn't sound cool is saving up for this and quitting your job and quitting on day 2. because your feet haven't been dry yet and you can't imagine doing it for 180 more days.
Yeah. It's also not the PCT. Like, you're not permitted to a specific day, so you have the flexibility to start whenever you want.
Yeah, asterisks. If this is like if you're not reading the title of the episode and you're hiking the PCT, like maybe you have to marry your start date.
Yeah, no, this is AT tips. You don't even have to clarify.
Yeah, don't marry your start date. Be flexible.
Yeah.
A number's just a number. You know, no one cares if you started on 4-4 if you quit on 4-6.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes divorce is good.
Yeah.
Okay. My second tip is, this is something that's come up on the podcast a couple of times of late, and I think that this is a good practice before any long distance hike. Chaunce's was AT specific, this one isn't, but if you're gonna hike the AT, do this. Wean yourself from your screen addiction before you start the trail. And if you're not currently addicted to your phone, congratulations to the 99% of people listening to this who are, myself included. I encourage you to begin to wean yourself from the screen before you hit the trail, like I said. There are roughly a million reasons why thru-hiking the AT is an amazing experience, and one of my personal favorites is the opportunity it grants you to actually be present with nature and connect with other people. And if you're still feeling the tick to look at your phone every 5, 10, or 15 minutes, I think that just adds friction to that experience. Like, it makes it harder to get into the flow of what makes a thru-hike beautiful if you are still, your brain's running that short loop of like, oh, I wonder who liked my Instagram post. Oh, what's the score? Like, there's a million things why we are so tuned into our phones. The more you can do, like, you don't have to go 2 weeks without looking at your phone before you start the trail, but like, look at your screen time. Can you cut it in half from where I'm talking to you right now to before you start the trail? Like, I think that we're talking about physically training for the trail. Like, that's readying your body, readying your mind is a huge part of it. And I think, getting rid of some of these bad habits that could cause unnecessary psychological weight can go a long ways to making the early part of the experience much easier for you. So,
to expand on that, I think also knowing that once you remove the dopamine button, your brain's still going to be graspy. You're still going to want something to keep your hands and your mind busy. So that's a great time to start a book, an audiobook, or for me, it was recording during the day, and now I'm able to edit my videos, but I'm not scrolling unnecessarily.
Sure.
So just knowing that your focus still needs to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So have somewhere to channel it. Don't just sit in a corner and feel anxious because your brain wants to be an iPad kid.
Yeah. I will say, try to experience a little bit of boredom before you hit the trail, though, because like right now, it's obviously you don't ever have to experience boredom, and like, I'm being a hypocrite because I fill every moment of my life with some sort of stimulation. I think if I were getting ready for something like the AT, I would intentionally, and like everyone for a healthy mindset should probably be doing this, myself included, find space for boredom. I think that's a really important, like, this is a much broader thing than thru-hiking advice. I think this is the human condition advice, but specifically from transitioning to like an intense screen addiction to being out in the wilderness for the first time, allow yourself to build that bridge a little bit. And I think that it'll pay dividends for you.
Trail name Buddha.
Zach's trail name is not Buddha.
I got the belly.
Or like booty.
Yeah, but you are not chill and zen enough.
No, but I aspire to be.
Unless we nicknamed you that in like an ironic way.
Yeah, there we go.
Check back to the Valentine's Day episode where his mom tells the golf story.
Oh yeah. I have many of them, but I remember that specific one. Golf is triggering for me. I've grown up though. I don't do that shit anymore. Okay. Say something.
Not getting help from us.
All right. Tip number 3. Mine is embrace the new and the weird. Do the random side quests. Strike up conversation with strangers. Try weird food combinations. Accept dinner invitations from the locals. Just don't get serial murdered. Check out local restaurants, dive bars. Buy a stranger a beer. Listen to new music. For me, one of my favorite parts of hiking the AT was just how much random weird shit I got myself into. We ended up at a random cookout in Ceres, Virginia, town of 200, jumping off the bridge in Massachusetts, I think it was, going to New York City kind of on a whim, like all these random adventures that you don't plan on. If somebody's like, hey, want to go do some random shit? Be like, yeah, I do want to do some random shit, because there's always going to be hiking tomorrow. Like there's always more hiking.
Yeah.
If you don't get hurt and you train. #train. But you're never going to get an invite to a random cookout in Ceres, Virginia ever again.
Right.
So do the weird.
For sure. Yeah, take advantage of every trail magic opportunity. I guess in the beginning it can be a little bit overwhelming, but like the weirder the trail magic opportunity, definitely explore it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I went to an Orioles game in Baltimore kind of on a whim. I went to New York City, not so much on a whim, but we both did the aqua blazing experience.
There you go.
Like I didn't know aqua blazing was a thing when I started the trail, and I later learned that a lot of people disapprove of that decision. I don't care, but yeah, I think for me personally, that through hiking the AT is amazing because it's an adventure. It's not because like you want to see every white blaze and like stick to a schedule and like be the fastest and be the best. It's like, no, you want to write a chapter of your life and make it as amazing as possible.
And so many folks, and I started off as a very purist mentality, and I'm always going to be that person that kind of shit talks the purists, unfortunately. But you prevent yourself from having some really awesome experiences.
For sure.
Like I missed out on the Creeper Trail coming out of Damascus
Yeah.
when my friends got ice cream and had a lovely stroll.
Yeah.
And I was just like beating my feet to death on like the world's ugliest part of trail.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my best parts of the PCT was we got invited by a dude to his, I've told this before, but to his family's, like, his huge, massive family did an annual cookout camping thing in the woods in this one section right down the road from the trail. And he was there doing trail magic, and he invited us. And we were like, oh, we got to get to town by this day. We have this agenda we want to stick to. And we started throwing rocks at a stop sign. And it was like, if by the third rock it hits the stop sign, we're going to this. And we hit the stop sign, and like the eruption of cheers of all of us that like secretly really wanted to go. And they made the best tacos, the setup they had with the grill and like how good the food was insane. It's one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. Me and the guy are still friends on Instagram. He still like reaches out every now and then and says something funny. He's a Bills fan. Go Bills. And we were so close to saying no to that because we were like, we got to get to this place to camp by night. Like, no, we don't. So I think just very much embrace the weird where try to be a yes man. Try to be like the Yes Man movie where it's just like, I don't care how weird this sounds, but if it's not going to hurt me or people around me or put me in jeopardy, be a yes man.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Okay, my turn. Who's excited?
Edge of my seat.
My last one I feel very passionately about also. This is a new one, and that is group listen to audiobooks if you're hiking with a tramily or a partner or someone else. Group listen to audiobooks.
Jess says that you send wayward texts to her about the books that you're reading.
Oh, yeah.
I did what to you?
It must have been right.
Oh, yeah. I accidentally texted her instead of Jess Popey from, because I finished a book and I was texting her about it, and Jess like responded like as if the text was intended for her. She's like, oh my God.
Assumed. Yeah.
She's like, just wait till you get to the second one. I'm like, great. And then it wasn't until later where I was like, why did she have parentheses the Trek next to her name? And I was like, oh shit, I'm not even texting the Jess I think I'm texting.
Wait, did you say just wait till you get to the second one, not knowing what?
No, I knew exactly the book series.
Oh.
I just
Yeah,
thought
had
maybe
you read it?
No, yeah. I just thought maybe we had talked about it at some other point.
But you'd read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would have been much funnier had you said that without reading.
I'm a yes man. Yes, of course. Read the second book.
It's so easy to bond with people about books, and it's so easy to find good books to bond with people about. And you could do this with a podcast too, but I think the key is the audiobook because it's longer, and because it's like a thru hike. You could day hike, audio podcast, or you could thru hike audiobook. Right, one's longer. And I say this now because when I did the Northville Placid Trail, me and a group of hiker girls had since, between my previous hikes and this one, started a little book club, and we read our nice little fairy fantasy smut books together. And talking about them is so fun. And we love just like being at the same place in the books and being like, oh my God, what do you think's going to happen here? Or I think this might happen, or, wait till you get to this part, or just like, it's just so fun to talk about. When you're 3 months into a thru hike, you have nothing left to talk to your partner about. Like, you've had all the conversations, you've gotten to know them, like you've gotten to know your trail family, you've had a lot of fun, you're running out of shit to talk about. And it's going to start to be weird when you're like, I don't know what to talk about, and you just become silent. Similarly, not a lot of people like to walk and talk at the same time. If I'm hiking and you're hiking with me, and especially if we're going uphill and you're talking to me, I'm secretly hating you because I can't breathe going uphill, let alone breathe and hold conversation. But if you're both listening to an audiobook going uphill and it's the same chapter, and you are ending the chapter on a cliffhanger and you're both getting to lunch at the same spot and you both agreed not to go past that chapter, you know how chatty your lunch is going to be? Like, you are just going to be so excited. And so on the Northville Placid Trail, we just all decided to embark on Throne of Glass together, that whole 8-book series. I think there's 8 of them.
I've done one group listen on a hiking trail, and it was Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we started it because we were like, we
Is
can't
this one
find
of
the
smut
will.
books?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the tandem read of Tower of Dawn and Empire Storm something. Tandem read of those two, the one where it's Kael's book and the other person's book, on the Northville Placid Trail. And even though by the point that I was listening to it, Zach and Elise had both left and I was by myself, like, I was so excited. I was writing down notes where it's like, oh my God, I've got to say my theory on this. I've got to say my theory on that. I can't wait to talk to them about this. And it got to a creepy part as it was like misty and it was woods hiking. And it was like playing a Lord of the Rings soundtrack when you're hiking through woods. And if you've done that, you know how cool that is. It was like that, where it's just like, this spooky part of the book is extra spooky because of my surroundings. And I can't wait to talk to the people that I talk to about it. So I think if you're getting to the place in your hike where you're realizing, like, I can't talk about base weight anymore, I don't want to know how far you're going today, I don't care what shelter you have, which we will all hit that point, decide as a group on an audiobook to listen to and have some fun. You're welcome.
Some of my favorite backpacking trips were when we were chilling by the fire at night. It's like too early to go to bed, but we got nothing left to talk about. So we put on a podcast and we just like sit there and listen to the podcast and then like pause and share our thoughts on it. So even if you don't have the patience for a full audiobook, or maybe you're not into fantasy smut, you're hiking with somebody that wants to listen to like self-improvement or whatever, then listen to a podcast.
What podcast would you guys listen to?
Feel Better, Live More, we listen to.
We'll dub in Backpacker Radio.
The You Up podcast is great. That's a Betches one. It's all like dating and relationship advice, but funny. Part of My Take, if you like sports, they just have funny segments.
Do you still listen?
I don't listen to podcasts when I'm not hiking. I only listen when I'm hiking.
Interesting.
But I listen to them on the way to the Bills game. Their fastest 2 minutes in football spoof has gotten very long.
I skip over that.
Really? I think that's great. I like it.
I could not believe you found a way to bring that back to the Bills. That was nuts.
The Bills. That's just the mindset I'm in.
Yeah.
Also,
Jess has no idea how obsessed I am with football right now.
No.
Do you ever watch football?
What is that?
Yeah. I guess how much of that is just your personality and how much of that is growing up in Browns country?
Okay, shade. It's straight up just my personality.
Yeah.
I respect people that like it, and I just rather talk about other stuff.
That's fair. It's objectively a dumb thing to care about.
I disagree. I think anything that brings you joy is good.
It's hard to argue that. Now you sound like an asshole.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Talking about it. If you wrote it down on a piece of paper and like showed an alien, this is the thing that we go crazy about, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the alien would write back a piece of paper that said, "You dumb."
Yeah, exactly.
You stupid.
I've got more
Says you know how to
podcasts to mention. Also, Money with Katie. It's a great one. It's a great one to go down the rabbit hole and then just like have the time to listen. You'll come out a different person. Giggly Squad is another good one. Just like the @Betches podcast. This is more mainly female focused. Sorry, men. And the other one I really liked doing was I liked, and this depends on the season you're hiking, but I found a show that I like to watch. For example, Game of Thrones was airing at the time of my hike, so I watched Game of Thrones while hiking the AT. And then I downloaded a bunch of Game of Thrones podcasts where they talked about the episodes and theories and like took fan questions. And so every week I'd watch the episode, and then while hiking during the week, I'd listen to it. And it doesn't have to be that. It could be The Bachelor. It can be, there's a podcast for everything these days. So find a show if you need to.
Well, I was really sad I wasn't into Survivor when I was hiking, because that would have been really nice. Like, record a new episode of Survivor every week, just something to help the time pass.
Something to take the edge off.
Yeah. A little something.
I'll put that as a tab B on the tip is also like, do not be too proud to watch a show on your phone on trail.
Agreed.
Do it. It's so good. And you deserve it. You've worked really hard. And you've spent so much time outside looking at nature. You can look at your phone screen for an hour before bed once a week.
No. Turn your phone off and look at the trees you've already seen. No. Be out there. Look at the nature.
I'm never going to get shamed out of watching a show once a week on trail.
Yep.
It's great. It's like a little joy.
For the people that don't listen to music on trail.
Psychos.
What you doing?
My last one is my blatant disrespect for the policy of not repeating tips, but I'll continue to use this one on every single AT tip podcast, so be prepared to hear this again next year if we end up doing it. But it's to mentally prepare, and this is not just because it's the thesis of my book, Appalachian Trail, is available on Amazon, but because I truly believe this is the most important thing you can do to maximize your odds of completing the trail and doing so happily. This is for the AT or any long-distance trail. There are several ways in which you can mentally prepare. I have a lot to say on that subject, but I think, in my opinion, the most important tip, practice that you should follow through with is knowing your why. And not only knowing it, but specifically writing it out. Because I think you can start the trail knowing your why kind of ethereally, like you have your motivations for doing it. Obviously, there's something that's pushing you to quit your job, get someone to take over your house, take 6 months off of society to go do this seemingly crazy thing. But I think going through the process of like formally writing on a piece of paper is very important. And if you don't do that part of it, it just becomes incredibly easy to lose track of those reasons once you're out on trail. Some of the common reasons that I think were consistent for me, that I talk to a lot of people that feel the same way, is that like your life just starts to feel dull working a 9 to 5. That's probably the most common thing, I think. Maybe you want to complete something difficult. Maybe you want the adventure of a lifetime. But whatever you do, make sure that you're writing out the reasons why you're getting on trail. Because again, it's very easy to lose sight of this. And like it happens on every thru hike where you're going to hit a difficult stretch. Maybe it's a bad day. Maybe it's a bad week. You're borderline hypothermic from all the rain. You're hiking through blisters. You've got injuries. You're having a rift with your trail family. There's a million reasons why things on trail can actually suck. But writing down your list will put back into perspective that hiking on a rainy day isn't as bad as a Monday morning at your cubicle job that you hate. And having that on a piece of paper to be able to reference is a really motivational thing to look back at when you're going through the throws on trail. And quite frankly, a lot of times just the practice of writing it out is enough to ingrain it in your brain where you don't actually have to cite your lists. I've talked to a lot of people that say that like looking at their lists periodically while they're on trail proved to be a very beneficial practice for them. For me, I didn't actually look at my list that often, like I said, because I think writing it down allows you to process the reasons differently than just like trying to memorize them. But I can't overstate how important I think it is to go through the practice of actually writing it down. In my book, I have 3 different lists that I have you write out. If you're just going to try to keep this as simple as possible, you don't want to get the book, that's fine. Just go through the process of writing down every reason that you want to do the trail, and know that you're talking to future you who's going to be on trail contemplating quitting, because that happens to a lot of people. And we get on the survey every year, we ask people why they get off trail, and like the emotional reason or like just lost motivation, yada yada yada, that camp is often a very small slice of the pie. I honestly call bullshit. Like I think a lot of times people will cite injury or running out of money or personal issue back home, and in a lot of circumstances, like you break a leg, obviously you're getting off trail. But I think if your motivation was stronger and you had like a bad ankle sprain and you're using that as your reason to get off trail, it's much easier to check the box next to injury as opposed to like I just didn't have it in my heart. So I think the mental reasons are why most people quit on the trail, and going through this practice will ensure that you don't fall into that trap. So know your why.
Well, I think you brought up a really good point one time when you were talking about this, which was the AT survey in a way isn't fully accurate there, because a lot of the times if someone quits a trail, they're not going to be the person that's going to go onto the trek and fill out an AT survey.
Yeah. Or if they do,
they'll do what you just said and lean somewhere else. So for all the answers you see on those surveys that say I quit for this reason, you got to imagine there's 2, 3, 4-fold the amount of people that also quit for that reason, that just didn't want to go online and be like, yeah, I quit for this reason.
For sure.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm sure there's people who are in just denial about the fact that like they've convinced themselves that the injury was the reason that they got off trail, when really like their heart wasn't in it anymore. And like, sure, you probably hurt, but have hundreds of people taken a few days off trail to recover from that injury and got back. Like, I'm not shaming anyone for getting off trail. If the trail's not for you, then by all means get off trail. But to your point, I sense that a lot of people are not perfectly transparent about the reasons for getting off.
Yeah. I think also in terms of like writing things down, this is another like subsection B, daydream and write down what you think. Write down the thoughts you think while on trail. Like, don't just write down things before trail, but write down things on trail. And not just like, I ate breakfast today, it was oatmeal for the 10,000th time, but like, I would like to do this when I get home. I think this is a cool idea. Wouldn't this be fun? Here's a random thought I just had. And just have a like note on your note file on your phone where you just write down all the random good thoughts you have. Because I think some of my best thinking happens after I've gotten the hiker hunger. Like, if you've hiked on trail before, you know you don't start off with hiker hunger. It takes a few weeks to kick in. Same thing with good ideas, right? Like, I start the trail and I'm in that corporate mindset. I'm in that real world mindset. By month 4, I am having ideas, and they are good ones. And sometimes I have to stop hiking just to write them down before I forget them, because I'm so worried of losing them, you know? And so that's another thing, that when you do run out of things to talk about or think about or listen to, and you're starting to get to that point where things are dragging, start writing things down again, like as you're having these daydreamy ideas, because that would make me excited for my next stretch to hike. It's like, oh my God, I wonder like what ideas I'll have now.
Yeah, for sure. When either of us go on a hike, the backpacker radio thread tends to blow up, because I'm the same way. My best ideas come from when I'm on trail. I think this goes back to the like forced boredom thing, is like I don't allow myself any space to have good ideas anymore, because I'm so preoccupied with everything else that I'm never actually thinking. I'm just consuming. When you're on trail and you have that open space, like your imagination and your brain connects in new ways, nature makes you smart and amazing. Like it becomes an idea factory.
Yeah, and I think so many people start trails like the AT because they want to change in their life, or they want something different or shaken up, or they want to find an answer to a question. And a lot of people will get to the end of the hike and be like, man, I had so much fun with the trail family I made and with the things I did in town that I never even had a chance to fully think through this thing that I wanted to come to a resolution on. And that should be expected, honestly, going in. It's like, hey, if I want to process XYZ while I'm out there, I could finish and have had a great time and have never had the chance to process that. And I'm not saying this in a way of force yourself to process something on trail, but more in a way of, if you get to that point where you start having creative thoughts and you start having ideas and your brain starts running and you can document some of it for yourself to look back on, like, what other time in life do you let your brain get to a place where it can feel relaxed enough without outside stressors to just shoot out ideas? Or, you know, my version is ideas, but your version might be something different, where you need to get through the first half, the fun half of that hike, and get into the less fun half of that hike for your mind to wander in that way. And I think having a list to look back to at the end shows you, like, hey, I didn't just drink in town. I had these really cool ideas too.
Yeah. And another second part of the list process that I outlined in the book is writing down what you want to get out of the trail. And I think that's consistent with what you just said, is like, let's say, for instance, you are trying to process something traumatic. Well, if you go in, you jump in, and like day 1, you find this social group that you really love and you resonate with, and like you're just chatty the entire time, which there's obviously nothing wrong with that, but you could be preventing yourself from actually giving yourself the space to achieve that thing that you want to achieve. I'm not saying that that's the wrong thing to do. I'm just saying, like, having a list of the things that you want to get out of the trail can help inform the way that you're hiking and allow you to be a little bit more intentional about it. So,
and the AT is so social. If you want to spend all your time hiking around people and hiking shelter to shelter and being social, you can do that. You can never spend a moment alone.
Yeah.
So if you want to process this thing, or you want the space to have ideas, make a point to hike alone. Maybe go off on your own for a couple of days, then link back up with your family. Don't be afraid to solo wolf it.
Great advice. And it's worth saying that, the northbound experience is very busy and crowded. And maybe the first few days or so, longer than that, it'll be tough to find the space that Jess is describing, but you can eventually find the space, and pretty quickly you can find it. You just have to, like, be a little bit more intentional about being like, no, I'm going to wait back and hike on my own after lunch or whatever it might be. Like, I hiked northbound and I spent several days by myself. I would go multiple days without seeing another person in some instances. This was 100 years ago, but it can be done, is the moral of the story. You don't have to hike southbound or do a flip-flop or do some, like, odd season to find solitude out on this trail.
I guess also if this is your first hike and you are worried about the bubble and you are worried about so many people and you're not, like, the most social butterfly, and you don't have thru-hike experience to tell you otherwise, so you're just like, oh my God, how am I going to handle that? A tip, you don't have to talk to everyone you see.
Yeah.
Put in headphones. You don't even have to turn the headphones on, right? Just look down. Just pant. I don't talk to most of the people I see. I don't like talking to people while I'm hiking. I like talking to people at camp, but not while I'm walking. I don't like to, again, mix physical exertion with speaking. So I just don't talk to most of them. And I'll get to, like, when I'm hiking with Fireball, I'll get to camp or to a break. She's like, oh my God, did you meet this person? They're so cool. Oh my God, did you meet this person? They did this. Oh my God, this person has such a crazy story. And I'm like, no, I didn't meet any of them. Because that for me is like, it's not part of the journey for me. And you are not obligated to have to talk to everyone. You could walk past 30 people in one afternoon and not have talked to any of them. And that doesn't make you a bad person. That just makes you doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Also, don't feel pressured to talk to anybody. If someone's cornering you, wanting to talk to you, you don't have to talk to that person.
Yeah. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah, just say you don't talk to strangers.
Yeah.
Or just say you're not friendly.
Just don't say anything. Just keep walking.
Yeah. Speak Russian.
Right.
Scare them.
I have also used the headphone prop trick. I use it regularly all the time.
Well, the really good thing about that trick is then you can't get bugs in your ears. And that's an under talked about thing, is when a fly flies in your ear while you're hiking. That sucks. And then thinking, did it fly back out or is it in my head?
Yeah.
That'll eat you up for the rest of the day.
The sound of the little, like, gnat, like,
yeah.
You're like, oh God.
And then the phantom crawling of it just going into your brain to live. Yeah, no, earbuds. They will keep the bugs out of your ears.
Yeah. And the people. Good. I think those are some good tips. If you guys want even more AT tips, like I said, we'll link to the previous episodes on the subject. There's 3 of them, pretty sure. But let us conclude with the Stay Salty question presented by LMNT. Use our URL, drinklmnt.com/trek for a free sample pack with your order. That's 8 free sticks with your order. What is your hottest take in the world of backpacking or outdoors at large? Let's make this fun. We'll all answer this one.
Oh, okay.
The large pause of ponder.
Or the large pause of who wants to go first.
I could do my standard one. Day hiking sucks. And this is from the bias of having done long distance hiking. Once you've tasted it, and if this is your first hike and you're listening to this because you're going to do the AT, know that this is a chance you're taking. You will ruin day hikes for yourself, because to sit in a car for 2 hours, to get to a trailhead, to hike to a view that you've seen 100 versions of, to go back to your car, drive 2 hours on one of your 2 days off of the week if you work in corporate America, to be tired the next day and then have to catch up on everything with the Sunday scaries is not a good idea of fun, at least for me. Some people love it that much. For me, I need, give me a week or give me nothing. Give me 3 nights or give me nothing at this point, because I want to feel like I'm waking up there. I want to feel like I'm sleeping there. I want to hear the nice sounds. I don't want to be stressing about driving back that evening or tired from driving there that morning. It's just too much car time and too little reward for me. So if you are embarking on your first thru hike, be forewarned. If you are someone who absolutely loves day hiking, like I did it every weekend leading up to my first hike, you might come out hating it, and that's okay.
As somebody that still likes day hiking, I will fully agree with thru hiking does kind of ruin the day hiking. Like, it's way better.
Well, for you you live next to Table Mountain.
Yes.
So, like, you're not driving 2 hours. But,
Correct. And I hike the same trail over and over for the exact reason that you stated, is I don't like getting in a car to accomplish a hike.
I used to drive to Estes every weekend.
Yeah.
And this is before Rocky Mountain had permits, but, like, for just entering. Every weekend. That's a 2-hour drive. And right now, that's closer to a 3-hour drive. That's like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
There and back. And I would do it with eagerness and gusto.
Yeah.
You couldn't probably... If the right friend came to town, I'd probably go.
Josh Allen.
I would take him. But, like, if you're not Josh Allen... I'm not doing it.
It don't impress me much.
So, yeah, be forewarned. That's my hot take, is it might ruin day hiking
It
for you.
definitely will make day hiking worse. Like I said,
Maybe if you love day hiking, just don't go on the AT. Maybe this is your sign not to do the AT.
Although I will say now I don't really do much day hiking. I do more like hiking, trail running combination, because I do find day hiking to be boring comparative, and I find that running adds like a new spice to it that I like just an individual day hike doesn't have. So in principle, I very much agree with what you're saying, Jess.
I mean, I definitely moved out here and I haven't done much day hiking since I got out here. So, is it post AT or is it me?
It's because you don't like football.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
It's because you're a Browns fan.
I guess that's another good warning, is thru
Don't
hiking.
watch the Browns.
No, thru hiking's a gateway drug into trail running. I haven't caught it, but a lot of people. Look at Elise.
Yeah, look at Elise.
All she does is that and fly fish.
I know.
Which is good for her. She's probably so healthy doing that at like Breckenridge elevation.
A lot of my trail running is what I said. It adds a new spice to the day hiking element. It's also just because I feel like I don't have the time to do a 3-hour hike. It's just like a trail run is a faster hike in my mind. But yeah, it is. There's definitely a large crossover between people who have thru hiked who then get into trail running. That is certainly accurate.
You trail running then?
I will hike the ups and then run when I am flat or downhill when I have the energy.
So yeah, that's trail running.
Yeah. I mean, like, in Colorado, you have to be careful with how you present yourself, because like everyone's an Olympic level athlete, and I'm not that. Like, people can't see my Strava times.
What?
Are you Gorp core? Do you Gorp?
I don't know, like good
Good
old
old
fashioned
raisins
raisin
and
peanuts.
peanuts?
Yeah, but it's like the fashion aesthetic. Oh, you gotta Google it. Google Gorp fashion. I mean, it's every running influencer with like the pit vipers and like the super shiny reflective clothes.
My question is, what percentage of your outing needs to be running versus walking for it to be considered trail running?
It's a thought-provoking question, because I'm always, when I leave my house, I have to pick the workout on my Apple Watch, and like I know I'm going to run at least a little bit, and I think if I'm going to run most of it, I'll select trail run. If I'm going to hike most of it, I'll select hike. But lately I've had so many hikes that have turned into runs because I don't want to commit. Like, the hardest part about running is getting started, so hitting the hike makes the psychological barrier easier for me. That didn't answer your question at all, but
Yeah.
I think let's just say 10%.
If I run 10% of my hike,
Sure.
it's a trail run.
Why not?
I'm a trail. Fine, give me a good downhill. I'm a trail runner.
Yeah. But that is generally my rule, is like, if I can run most of the flats and the downhills, I feel like I'm trail running. I put no pressure on myself to run
In
uphill.
that case, I trail ran the AT.
Were you running the flats?
No,
Oh.
just lightly jogging the downhills.
Oh.
It's easier on the knees. Not every downhill, also. Like,
Yeah.
guys, I didn't trail run the AT, but I did run some of the downhills.
When I got the zoomies, I definitely ran the downhills.
Or like when your knees are hurting, it's like I'd rather, and you're on it's an old railroad bed. It's not even like rock or anything you could trip on.
You're gonna hoof it.
Give me a slight jog.
I've never heard a person refer to them having the zoomies before. That's very funny.
Can I have a hot take?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that wherever you go, there you are. So I think a lot of folks, you kind of like touched on it earlier, but a lot of folks go to the AT to find themselves. And I think it's an avenue for doing that. But wherever you go, there you are. If you're unhappy at home for reasons that are beyond just your surroundings, maybe like don't like your job or something, like that's reasonable. Go to hike, that's fine. But, if you got some more work to do and you know that, but you're just going to run off and hike the AT and hope it fixes all your problems, I think there's a small chance you're going to be 100% satisfied when you reach the end of the trail. I also think there's probably a better chance that you'll probably drop off the trail. If you go out there and you know that you want to learn a couple of things and maybe you want to have like a life transforming experience, but ultimately you're out there to do some good hiking and see some nature and meet some cool people, I think your expectations are going to be a lot more realistic and you're going to enjoy yourself, versus if you go out there and you're like, I'm going to find God and I'm going to find exactly who I am. I think that's going to be pretty intense for you.
Yeah.
I totally agree. A long patch of dirt cannot fix your life.
There you go.
But you can figure out how you will fix your life while on a long patch of dirt.
Boom.
I do want to add the examples that we've had on this podcast of people that have like serious mental health issues, like PTSD specifically is the example that's jumping out, that do find some, not perfect, some solace through hiking. I think some of that's the community involved with thru hiking. Some of that is just the healing natures of being in nature.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I do like if you have unhappiness and dissatisfaction come from often like a rift of where you know you should be versus where you are, and hiking is not going to solve that problem.
Right, hiking alone.
Right.
Yeah. I will agree with you. There are the mental health benefits of being on a thru hike are insane. But it doesn't last forever. The trail ends, and you go back.
That's
right,
or you don't.
Or you don't. Like it's the trail ends, and either way, like you're gonna maybe you go to a different trail, but you're gonna go somewhere else, and the world is still gonna be what it is before you went out there. And you could have had the best time out there, and it could have been like the best mental health thing for you out there. But if you don't have a plan for when you get back, like oof.
Yeah, I think that's why post-trail blues is such a bitch.
For sure.
So you can enjoy every second of it, but you still will have to figure out how to fix the settings that were not great for you going into it. Otherwise, you're just going to return to them.
Or we interview so many people who are just like serial adventure thru hikers, or you go that route.
Right, but they made an active choice to not go back to the life they were living
For
and to
sure.
do something different instead.
Yeah.
Trail didn't do that for them.
No. But like to the point of you experiencing bliss on trail and then going back to real life and it's sucking. Some people just bounce right back to the trail, do whatever they have to do to make that work. But like that's an option.
Yeah, but you also, flip side again, you also see that option being used a lot in escapism, where people will not want to process the things they need to process and not want to face the things in life that are hard and scary. And it is easy to just run off to a trail. And I mean, hiking the trail is not easy, but man, is it easy to go back out there when things get hard. And I think, you either have to actively decide, like, this is my life now and I'm going to find a way to financially make this work, or I have to go back in some capacity, and having a plan helps.
Yeah,
I think hiking for clarity is the best thing you can hope for. So you get out there and you find some answers.
Yes.
But expecting the trail to do the answers for you is not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to actually think about the answers. Otherwise, you'll be at the end being like, man, I never figured that out.
Yeah. Agreed. My hot take is far less philosophical than your guys's. Is just that the roller coaster is not that bad.
I loved that part.
Oh, roller coaster kicked my ass.
I thought it was
Did
so
it?
fun.
Yeah, but I was in the peak of my plantar fasciitis back then, though, so I was at a disadvantage.
I just remember it being hyped up to me for like a couple of days before getting there, being like, just wait to get to the roller coaster. And then like I finished it, I'm like, there's no way that's it. There's no way I'm done with this, because like I hardly even noticed it. It just felt like the rest of the trail.
Well, I liked it because if it's a long climb, I'm going to get tired and start checking the map before I get to the top and really just spiral. These were like, it was by the time I'd get tired going up, I'd check the map, I'd be 0.2, I'd just hoof it, and then you get the fun down. I had a fun time on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a hoot, definitely.
Yeah, this is another echo for train. The PCT me would not have had a fun time, but I had a great time on it.
Yeah. Good stuff, guys. Good. Neato, gang.
Neato.
Does anyone need a potty
team.
break? Should I?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
To the Trek propaganda portion of today's show. Another AT survey post by the Katie Jackson. This is the top tents and shelters on the AT in 2025. There's a ton of juicy data in this one, including what shelter types people used, and that means freestanding versus trekking pole tents versus hammock and more. What tent sizes people opted for, 1 versus 2 versus 3, and the top tent brands. I'm going to give you a taste here of the top tent models. A little drum roll. Top overall model for the AT 2025 was the Z-Pax Duplex. I believe they were the winner last year as well. Followed closely by, bless you, the Durston Gear X-Mid 1. Followed in third by the Big Agnes Copper Spur HV UL2. I'm always surprised that the Copper Spur is the most
I like with the Copper Spur.
I mean, it's a great tent. Just for my money, I think the Tiger Wall, I think, is the best thru-hiking tent. But
And that's the one person though, right? Or no?
There's 1, 2, and 3 of the Tiger Wall as well.
Is one the front entry versus the side entry?
So the Fly Creek is the front entry, and
that one's the one I think should be on here.
Oh, you like the front entry?
Is that the one where you're not going in at the head?
You are going at the head. It's the Fly Creek.
Okay, never mind.
Tiger Wall, in my opinion, kind of combines the best of the Copper Spur and the Fly Creek in that it's lighter than the Copper Spur, but it's got the side entry.
Do they sell all 3 at REI?
Online. I don't know about like your local REI.
I wonder if that's why it's on the list. It's because it's like you've got the 2 for like the gear nerds that research hard, and then you've got the one for like the person who went into REI and had them build Bryson their kit.
Sure. Yeah. I imagine the Copper Spur purchasers are probably a little bit more old school, or maybe it's got higher remarks in like some of the older legacy media. I don't know.
I mean, the reason that I had the Copper Spur was because I bought it a few years before the AT, so by the time I got the AT, I still had it. And I think it's in so many blogs, and you Google like best freestanding tent, Copper Spur pops up so much.
Yeah.
I almost like distrusted the Tiger Wall. I was
Where'd you buy
surely
it?
they can't fix perfection.
Yeah.
I have no clue. Years ago. Probably Amazon, because I suck.
Yeah. And this, I'm not just talking, Copper Spur is also a great tent. If you bought the Copper Spur, you should be confident with your decision. But just my opinion, I don't think it's the best Big Agnes tent for thru-hiking. But yeah, check out that post. Tons of good stuff in that one. Question of the day.
This one's very selfish.
I love it.
Due to things that we won't get too far into here, I will have a week to 2 at the end of March where I could potentially squeeze in a little hikey hike. Yay! Since 2025 had none of it with wedding planning, this is big. But I would like my question of the day to be, what soft hiking can I do in that 1 to 2 week time span? Typically, when I have time off and I go to a hike like the Ozark Highlands Trail or the Northville Placid Trail or the Teton Crest Trail or the JMT, I am seeing how much time off I have. I'm picking a trail where I can math it out so that I'm doing 15 to 20 miles a day, and then I have a travel day on each side. And I get there and I go more, and then I keep going, and then I finish. And it's just full on diving back into the hiking world, going at a pace that's like a thru-hiking pace. And like just fast immersion, toss her in, take her out. This time, I'm thinking I want to do something softer. I want to do something where I am almost ashamed of the miles a day I'm hiking because it's so low, where I feel silly taking the amount of time I'm taking to do X trail because I could do it so much faster, and where a majority of my day is not hiking before the sun sets, but it's hiking a bit and then maybe reading and sitting and doing things that aren't physical exertion. I'm trying to like do a burnout reset. So my question is, what soft hiking do you think I should do at the end of March that could fit into a week or 2 with that criteria?
I have a suggestion that you're not going to like.
Okay.
It's a Florida trail.
No.
There you go.
It's not soft hiking if I'm worried about alligators and snakes.
Oh, that's fair.
And people on bath salts.
Just jump over to the Caribbean beach. It's nice over there.
But we're in the right area. I think the southeast is the right area for this.
What's so Pinhoti?
Maybe, but how long? That one's. How long is that one?
I don't know if it's something you could
That's
do in 2
one that I
weeks.
would like. I could do the thing, but it would be a full hiking day each day, right?
So my first thought, and not to keep it so much on theme, was just like do a soft section of the AT.
No, I want a completion. I like the start
That's
to finish.
kind of the antithesis of your soft hiking.
No, because I could do something like the Art Loeb Trail. That's 30 miles, and I could spend a week on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like 5 miles a day and a 0.
And would you go to Ohio or Pennsylvania or?
Yes, but also keep in mind it's the end of March. So the norther we get, the colder, which is fine, but maybe not somewhere where there'd be heavy snow. Like when I think about doing the Art Loeb in a week, I feel pain because I feel like that's too slow, you know? And I want, that's what I want. I want something where I'm forced to slow down and it's like just freaking sit there and look at the sky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like touch grass. I want to be forced to touch grass.
Okay, heard.
You do the Trans-Catalina Trail again. Beach.
That's
Short.
true. That's true.
Hide in a bear box. A bison box.
Yeah, but I don't. There's so many trails to repeat one feels silly.
Yeah, I just feel like to do we'll call it a through hike, that time of the year, at least jumping off the top of my head, I don't think there's a ton of options. I think you're a little bit early for the Lost Coast Trail.
I could do
Maybe Lost Coast Trail, actually. You'd have to look into the permitting probably
How long is that
yesterday. It's 52 miles.
That one's not too long. I could do I could do half of the Pinhoti. I just then the problem with unfinished business is it eats at your soul until you finish it.
Would you go international?
I would go international if I don't blow everything I have on a Bills Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But I would go international if there's something in March that could internationally be a good option.
How long is the Camino de Costa Rica?
Oh, I like what you're thinking.
I don't know.
170 miles, so that would definitely be...
Like a 2-weeker?
Yeah, I mean, a little quicker pace. You're not going to be able to sit down and touch grass the whole time, but...
But no, I like your mindset. I could do part of a Camino.
Mm-hmm.
Camino trails and lengths.
Ever since we talked to Lauren last episode, go check it out, I'm incredibly intrigued by all of the European hiking, the international hiking.
100%.
Stuff sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Wait, I think we've gotten somewhere. The Camino Inglés is 75 miles. The Camino Finisterre is 56 to 73 miles. The Camino Portuguese is 150 miles. These could all work.
For the Fisherman's Trail in Portugal.
That was
What's
top
that
of mind
one?
for me, but that
140?
140 miles.
Yeah.
That's like 2 weeks, right? 70 a week. That's 10 a day.
And you get to enjoy all of the go chill at this hostel.
Well, Caminos aren't hard,
Have
right?
some bread.
Is that
I
just a
think
stupid
some of them
sentence?
have hard parts, but generally speaking, not. I think it's mostly very approachable and flat.
Okay, this was actually a very productive question of the day, guys. Everyone clap. I'm going to look up Caminos that are short.
Yeah, skip across the pond. Why not?
Chickpea did the Fisherman's Trail in 9 days, so very doable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I know, I'm just wondering, if you're trying to do it at a relaxed pace. Yeah, I guess 10 miles a day without knowing a ton about the terrain. You said 5 miles, so I was thinking, literally half that distance.
I don't know. Because I was thinking of soft things I could do, like make pasta from scratch or sew something. And then I was talking to someone about it, and they were like, that's not that soft. Soft things are set an alarm and watch the sunset 3 times a week. And that was a realm of softness that I've never even considered. So I'm trying to embody that mindset in hey, can we go softer? And Europe is a good way to do that, I think.
Yeah.
What's softer than the inside of a fresh baguette?
I like that. Okay, we've got a starting point. This is all I wanted from this. Thank you.
Good. We did that. Let's do the Triple Crown. We have done this before. I'm 99% sure.
I think so too.
But this can be reoccurring. We could probably do this every week and never run out of things. This is the Triple Crown of things that get your goat. Which, to clarify, because I don't know if everyone in the room was familiar with what that means, things that irk you, piss you off, bother you, they get your goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely was not aimed at me, who didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, I don't think it's a common saying.
No, not at all.
But it was aimed at you. I'm going to start, and this was what originated my inspiration for wanting to do this, is my parents have, I think it's considered like a really high-end fridge, but it's one of those fridges that like suction close.
What?
There's got to be
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think most chest freezers are this way too, where like once it closes, it has to like seal for a period of time, so you can't close the refrigerator door and then you have to wait a few seconds before you can reopen it again.
I thought you meant it sucked up your clothes, like a one of those vacuum hampers. I was like, they're combining those refrigerators now.
Hey, the robots are getting crazy. Yeah, no, I don't know what is suction vacuum seal fridge. Is probably like a much better official term for it.
I love that your brain went there, because I can't even begin to think of an application for that for a fridge.
I've seen those where like they
Sexy
have like
grapes up.
they have like a vacuum built into the wall or the island, and you like turn it on like you would a disposal, and it sucks in, and you brush all your dirt that you brushed into that.
Oh, you for like a trash compactor or something, trash can.
I don't know. It's a hole in the wall.
The hole in the wall.
But I thought they were putting those into fridges now.
Vacuum sealed refrigerator maybe is what it's called. But yeah, my parents have one of these, and the number of times you don't realize how frequently you go in and out of the fridge, at least I do with having ADD, is I'm always like double opening. Like I close it and then I realize I still need to grab the ketchup, and like the process of adding a 3-second wait when I just need to get inside the fucking fridge it makes my blood boil. So I hate dealing with my parents' refrigerator so much. Gets my goat.
I can picture you just like angrily staring at
And
the
like
fridge.
I physically fight with it because like I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna pull as hard as I need to pull to open this goddamn door right now. And no one should have that kind of frustration with refrigerators.
Rest in peace, Zach. Crushed
I just
by a
thought of it.
fridge.
You just triggered another thought on mine.
Yeah. So whatever the fuck those refrigerators are, suck my ass. There's no way whatever value that provides, I think it cools things faster, probably, is not worth. I need the instant gratification of like, oh, I forgot the mayonnaise. Oh, I need to put the juice back. Oh, whatever it might be. Let me open my fridge on my timeline, not yours.
Do you want a fun but relevant fact that's very fast?
Yes.
I'm friends with the kid whose dad invented the seal around a refrigerator. With the little like rubber seal.
I'm
that goes on a
surprised
refrigerator.
wasn't invented like 300 years ago.
I know. Well, it wasn't.
Yeah.
They had ice boxes back then.
Are they just made out of money? Like
Yeah, he's
diamond plated?
rich as fuck.
Fuck yeah, nice.
Okay, if we're saying claim to fame, I have a friend whose dad is the guy that made the plastic bags with the smiley face on them that
That's
say
such a
thank you
good
for
one.
whatever shopping. Those standard bags that everyone has.
Is he rich?
I mean, they certainly seem so.
Reminds me in Forrest Gump, where like he's touching every part of history, and then he wipes off his face. Like mud gets splashed on his face, and he uses someone's shirt to clean it off, and he take it off, and it's like the iconic
smiley face.
Yeah, smiley face from the 70s.
Okay, am I next?
Yeah.
Okay, my next one is AI chatbots on support lines.
Yeah.
Like if someone
Yes.
doesn't have a phone number, I'm already mad.
Yeah.
And then if I have to message support and it's an AI chatbot, I'm really mad. And then if it's an AI chatbot that gives me pre-selectable answers, like what's your problem? I don't have one. Nothing. I'm great. Something's not working that's completely irrelevant to my issue. No other option to click.
Yeah, there's no agent option.
I've never that's my closest I'll probably ever be to breaking a computer screen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great one. I would say just calling customer service in general nowadays, when you have to go through at least 3 steps to get to a person, which is pretty much every customer service experience, that also makes my blood boil very much.
A pro tip for anyone out there that somehow has not gotten to this yet is just keep repeating connect me to a representative. Anytime there's an option, press 1 for this. Press to connect me to a representative.
Yeah. I just will say agent. You
You eventually get to one.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. You didn't say yours, did you?
Refrigerators.
Oh. Okay, so I go again.
I didn't go.
Jess hasn't gone.
Yeah. I
Jess
haven't
gets
gone
2.
I haven't gone.
I always walking over Jess.
I haven't gone at all.
I
Yeah,
thought she
that's
was
what I'm saying, you
refrigerators.
get- you get
I
2.
thought you
Yeah.
were refrigerators.
No, that
'Cause
really
you
gets
said
my
the friend
goat when
thing.
somebody has a fridge. People who don't want to share an appetizer.
Yeah, fuck
Pisses
those
me off.
people.
Yeah. you're showing
Do
up
those
to
people
dinner.
exist?
If we met up for dinner, we made plans. We went
Yeah.
to a nice restaurant, and you're telling me you don't want to share an appetizer. What are we making dinner plans for?
I thought you were saying like the table orders an appetizer and they're like,
Oh, and
no.
they're like, actually.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. And even if I'm not feeling the appetizer, I never want to be the guy who's the Debbie Downer on the appetizer
Yeah.
parade. So
Be naughty with me. Have a fry.
Yeah.
Have two.
Yeah.
Let's get crazy.
Yeah.
Or I'll piggyback off that. This isn't mine, but I'll piggyback off of it. When they don't want to go splitsies on 2 entrees.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Let's share.
You're never going to eat again. You'll never get a chance to get the ragu again. That you need the full plate to yourself, and you can't just like also. If you have 2 plates you're between, and I'm between the same 2 plates, you wouldn't rather try both? Garrett?
In that scenario, I agree with you, but there's times where Jenna tries to nudge me into the entree share. And I'm like, this is what I want, and I know I want this so much more.
Well, I don't
Divorce.
I don't initiate an entree share conversation unless I know we're in between the same 2 things,
Yeah.
right? Or if they're both on our top 3. But if it's like, no, I'd rather not try both because I just need every bite of this for myself, it's like, all right, fine.
But I usually just say yes to that with Jenna because, and I imagine this is probably where Garrett's making a mistake, because I know she's only going to eat at most half of a dish anyways, so
Right.
I'm going to clean up half of what she's eating.
You wouldn't say
regardless.
no to me if I was like, hey, can I have a bite of that?
Yeah.
You'd say yes.
Yeah.
Now you get 2 plates.
Yeah.
So.
But there have been times where she's like, how about I get this and you get that and we'll split it? I'm like, I don't want your dish. I want my dish.
Yeah, Garrett does that.
Yeah.
That's not mine, though. That's just a piggyback.
I get 2.
You
Yes.
get to.
When a gas station has a poor beverage selection.
Oh, I hate
I
that.
hate it so much.
Hate that. When they don't have vitamin water.
When they just have like 1,000 flavors of Arizonas and not a single kombucha on site.
Actually, I've got it. Ooh, recent experience. The hot chocolate in the hot chocolate machine, the powder was out and it just put out like poop water. And I was so cold and so looking forward to getting to that gas station to get some gas station hot chocolate.
And decaf is always out.
I was so sad when they don't refill those things.
Do you drink decaf?
Yeah, I do. I've been known. I've
Really?
been known to drink decaf.
I didn't know if I know anyone who drinks decaf coffee.
Well, sometimes
know.
I don't want like something hot and I want to drink, but I don't want to be up until 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't. Drink a hot chocolate.
Too shoigery. Too much
Okay.
shoiga.
Well, we've got some element for you.
The sponsor brought to you by.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Chaunce.
Oh, me again? Yep. Okay. Loading screens.
Oh yeah.
The
Rainbow
good
wheel.
The nice spinning wheel of death.
Put me out of my misery.
Can't wait for it to do its thing on its own time. I need to hit refresh a million times. I make it worse, and then I get mad. I don't trust it that it's actually still loading. I think it's frozen.
Is this spurred by a slow website or a slow internet connection?
Anything that you would get a loading screen for,
Yeah.
and you have to wait patiently. I can't do that.
Yeah. Man, to think back to like when we had 56K and like now a website that loads 10 times faster than what we had back then. I'm
Well-
not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying like how our expectations have shifted to like, I need this video to stream in 4K.
I just need to know if you're actually loading. I need to know if me sitting here waiting is leading to anything. Is this productive? Or are you saying that and the page is actually frozen and I'm sitting here like a bozo when I should have hit refresh 5 minutes ago?
Yeah. Okay. I will say, I'm sure I've bitched about this on podcast before, but the mobile speed camera vans, the guys that send you tickets without a human being involved at all.
Saw one today.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's now vans.
Oh, the speed traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating when I think I've probably gotten close to $300 worth of tickets out of those, $20 at a time or $35, whatever it is. I pride myself on if I'm speeding and I see a police officer and I'm cognizant of my surroundings enough that I slow down to not get that ticket, I should be rewarded with not getting a ticket because like I'm processing what's happening around me.
Sounds like you were speeding.
I'm aware. I speed a lot, but like if you see a cop car and you slow down and they don't catch you,
It's a game.
and yeah, I'm aware of my surroundings, which is what you want out of a driver more so than them driving his particular speed limit. But for you to like hide some unmarked white van at the bottom of the steepest road in Golden where the speed limit's 20 miles per hour and I'm going 31 and you just mail me a ticket based on that, eat my ass. Fuck you.
They should really put one near Bonfire Burrito. They'd get me every time. There's usually a cop car, and there was one pulling someone over today right near Bonfire. And it makes me nervous every time because that's the fastest strip of my drive.
Yeah.
So they put the speed vans there during the mornings because that's my commute. I go in through that way, and
Really?
they're always over there by Bonfire. Yeah.
Oh, they must take them away because they haven't nabbed me yet. But every time I go past there, I see a cop, and I'm like, ooh, that was a close call.
My issue is it makes me a more unsafe driver because I slam on the brakes whenever I see him.
Yeah, sure.
So now the person behind me is gonna slam into my bumper.
Yeah, no, it pisses me off. I'm tempted to just like speed through them with middle fingers. They see that. I wonder, is that like a legally enforceable ticket? I feel like I shouldn't have to pay that.
I think the rule, at least for the stoplight cameras, is that if they can't tell who's driving the car,
So if
they can't prove it was you and it wasn't someone else driving your car. As what I've heard, I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that if they can't tell it's you, they can't give you the ticket. You could just say someone else is driving my car.
Speeding tickets don't go to cars; they go to people.
So always wear a hat and glasses,
Check.
and put your middle fingers in front of your face.
Yeah. Good.
This is not tested advice.
I'm looking that up if I have to pay that because I might just stop. We'll see what happens. My last one. This is, especially this time of the year, really fucks with me is you look in the forecast, you see it's going to be 56 degrees. You got the little sunny icon. You're like, this is going to be an amazing Colorado day. The wind out here ruins so many days, especially in the foothills. I imagine it's also still bad in Denver, but like we can't have anything in our yard because 1 out of every 4 days is a soft tornado. And recently they shut the power off to my house for consecutive days. These are white people problems. I understand these are not real things. I want to add that caveat here. But yeah, just believing that the day is going to be nice, and then you walk outside and you're just slapped in the face by 35 mile an hour wind gusts. You're like, I'm going to go to the gym. This is not fun. So yeah, Colorado wind, especially winter and spring, is just it sucks. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
It do be windy.
It do be so windy.
It's me again, right?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why this is so hard for me. For some reason, I feel like you're before me, and I also feel like you're after Zach. So, my third one is witnessing dumb people say dumb shit in comments online.
Oh yeah.
Like
You should have just had comments.
I'm in a lot of Facebook groups for just random hobbies that I think I might want to have. I like to try to immerse myself into their culture before starting a hobby because I burn out fast and I love to try everything and think it's going to be my next thing and it's not. So I join these Facebook groups because I'm like, what is it like to needlepoint, you know? Fine. I go on Facebook a fair bit. This happens on Instagram too, but I feel like mostly I get rage baited on Facebook where I just see a really dumb comment about something that's just stupid and it makes no sense and the take is dumb and the person just seems so confident on it, and I just really want to write back and be like, that's stupid. Your thought process here is not something that's been thought through, and you're acting like you're confident about it. You have no idea what you're talking about and you're an idiot and I hate you. And then I think about, is that something that I want to put next to my name? Or could I maybe keep scrolling and keep it to myself? And so I usually choose the latter, almost always, because I fear doing the former and then it biting me in the butt one day. But man, it's hard sometimes to just see a really, really strong take on something that's wrong.
Yeah.
And not want to just be like, you're an idiot. Or like someone will, someone will comment like in my Mahjong group, someone will comment a question on something and someone will post something snarky in response. And, like, for me to just be like, hey, how's it feel to be an asshole? Like, you didn't need to respond that way. They asked a fucking simple question. If they knew the answer, they wouldn't have asked it. You know, like, not everyone wants to go to ChatGPT for stuff. And maybe they just like came to this group because they had a question because they're a beginner at something and they wanted to know from people that already do it and have more knowledge, and you're being an asshole. And that's mean. But there's no way for me to just, like, you can't just be mean to someone who's being mean to someone and be like, I'm right now. Like, then I'm the dick too. But yeah, stupid comments with stupid opinions.
Facebook is particularly good at that, for sure.
And you know what? You hate to admit that you can be rage baited. You
For
hate
sure.
to admit that that's something. You want to be unbothered. Nothing bothers me. No, it bothers me. And I fight myself on whether or not to tell you you're an idiot or not.
I'm about to be posting the most ignorant shit in Mahjong Facebook groups.
I won't comment back. I won't comment back. But man,
what
will
you
I
think.
have thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
And it's usually not the Mahjong. They're very, like, the etiquette thing in Mahjong is huge. But it's an example of something that won't cause fires is saying that group. I don't know. Stupid people saying stupid things, thinking they know what they're talking about, and they're just freaking dumb.
Yeah. I feel like X is the tip of the spear for
I don't have
rage baiting.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
You
no.
can send me something on X. I can't open it. I don't have it.
But it is definitely, like, people intentionally, there's like a dozen different style of posts where people are just like trying to get you angry to comment on it.
Well, there's also commenters that do that. And it's
For
like,
sure.
I don't want you to succeed in getting me. But
Yep.
like, ooh, you're so dumb.
Yeah, no, I feel bad every time I click on the comment button and I start reading. Like, it's just never going to go. I'm doing this to myself. I know it's not going to go well.
Most of my Facebook activity is reading comments. See post, click,
Yeah.
read comments.
It is entertaining.
It is. But like, then I just get so angry.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
My turn?
Yes.
When you pull up to a gas station pump and it says, please pay inside.
yeah, that's a bad one.
Makes me very angry.
I have to go inside, potentially wait in line behind 4 people that are getting hot dogs and Zins. Zins are great.
I either have to go inside and pay behind the people who are getting Zins, their name is Zach, or I have to now pull out and go to a different one that doesn't have the sign that says please pay inside, which is
Yeah.
a slight inconvenience I didn't ask for.
Yeah.
I
If
just want
there's-
gas. It's cold outside.
If there's another gas station close by, especially within eyesight, I'm not going inside.
For
I'm going to
sure.
the next gas station.
For sure.
But for a brief moment, I'm pissed.
Yeah. I don't even like having to insert my credit card. I just want the chip tap. Like, that's how lazy I'm
From my
getting.
car. I want to
Yeah.
tap the chip from my window.
Yeah. Maybe we have to move to New Jersey or Oregon so
Yeah.
someone does it for us.
Okay, I've got some honorable mentions that are like very privileged. When you order a DoorDash and it's something that like needs to stay the right temperature, like a soup or an ice cream, and then you go to see where it is and the dasher has 2 stops before they get to you because they're combining orders. And it's like, company, DoorDash, not the driver, they're just trying to exist. The company, how could you sell someone something that's really hot or really cold and depends on being that, and then send a driver to 2 other places before taking it to you? And it's just sitting in their car melting or getting lukewarm. I think that I don't understand the logic there. So
I've been door dashing recently because my favorite hobby, my favorite pastime is trying to get the best deal possible, doing all the BOGOs, and honestly, like, saving money versus if I went to the restaurant. Like, that gets my goat in the good way. What's the good goat getter?
there's good lunch deals. So, like today we got meatball subs from Firehouse and it was 2 for 1s.
There you go.
So it was crazy affordable compared. It would have cost less than if I went out and got the ingredients to make my lunch. But the other thing that gets my goat is they think that you're not looking at the rest of the selections once you get to checkout. They automatically add tip, and then you could change it if you want to. And the prices they've been adding for tips these days have been outrageous. They wanted me to tip 50% today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because it goes based on the number before you got the discount.
But also, my thought process is it doesn't matter what's in the bag. The driver's picking up the bag and he's delivering the bag. Does not matter if it's like a caviar made of gold in the bag or if it's a McDonald's cheeseburger. The process and everything's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be distance. driven.
Right.
Yeah,
and if you're
distance.
telling me, hey, we're increasing the tip suggestion because this restaurant's farther than others, fine. But
I guess that breaks down a little bit, like if you're hauling 7 bags of food.
right, but that's not. But if
I know
it's
that's not what's happening in your
if it's a
scenario, but-
McDonald's hamburger versus if it's a pasta dish from North Italia, it's fitting in one bag. It's one stop. It's
Yeah.
the same distance.
Yeah.
Why am I tipping 50% of the cost of my entire meal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're playing on our sympathies and humans like feeling guilty about not doing enough and not tipping well enough, and like the anxiety that causes, and just way overshooting things because they think you'll feel guilt and do it. And I think that's taking advantage, and I don't like it.
I do think being a DoorDash driver seems like a miserable job.
Yeah,
I've delivery driven. I have been a delivery driver. I can speak from someone. I have been a delivery driver, and I have gotten Chuck E. Cheese coins as tips. I know how angry that gets my goat if someone doesn't tip. I get it, but like within reason, people. I don't know. Pet peeve.
There was some like anonymous DoorDash coder that posted on Reddit recently, like just detailing how fucked their process was. I'm having trouble digging it up, but
Had an honorable mention too while you're working on that.
yeah.
When you text somebody and they don't text you back, but they respond in a group chat.
Ooh. Zach does that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
You know what's
We
fun?
are talking about someone, but
When you text him, just at him, so he gets an
At
extra
Zach.
notification. Yeah, I do that in Backpack Radio
Or
chat.
they're like posting on their stories, or
Yeah.
anybody, not just Zach.
I'm fine with
mean-
being like, bing, bing, here I am.
Bing, bing,
Like the
hello,
story.
motherfucker.
Reply to the story, see text.
it does happen a lot where people will text me or email me or blah 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 blah, and I'm going on with my life, like posting an Instagram story. But that's just because like, if you're a friend, I'm gonna respond to you
For sure.
If it's anything
If your
else,
name's Jess
like,
and you work for me, I'm never responding to you.
I do
Time
miss-
sensitive is more so what I'm responding to. If it's a time sensitive text and you're doing something instead of responding to my time sensitive text,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little pissy.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to read it all because it's long. I'm posting this from a library Wi-Fi on a burner laptop because I'm technically under a massive NDA. I don't care anymore. I put in my 2 weeks yesterday, and honestly, I hope they sue me. We should keep in mind that this could be total bullshit. People are good at that on the internet. I've been sitting on this for about 8 months just watching the code getting pushed to production, and I can't sleep at night knowing I helped build this machine. You guys always suspect the algorithms are rigged against you, but the reality is actually so much more depressing than the conspiracy theories. I'm a back-end engineer. I sit in the weekly sprint planning meetings where product managers discuss how to squeeze another 0.4% margin out of, quote, human assets. That's literally what they call drivers in the database schemas. They talk about these people like they are resource nodes in a video game, not fathers and mothers trying to pay rent. First off, the priority delivery is a total scam. It was pitched to us as a psychological value add. Like I said in the title, when you pay the extra $2.99, it changes the Boolean flag in the order JSON.
Yeah, that means it's true or false.
But the dispatch logic literally ignores it. It does nothing to speed you up. We actually ran an A/B test last year where we didn't speed up the priority orders. We just purposely delayed non-priority orders by 5 to 10 minutes to make the priority ones feel faster by comparison. Management loved the results. We generated millions in pure profit just by making the standard service worse, not by making the premium service better. But the thing that actually makes me sick, and the main reason I'm quitting, is the desperation score. We have a hidden metric for drivers that tracks how desperate they are for cash based on their acceptance behavior. If a driver usually logs on at 10 p.m. and accepts every garbage $3 order instantly without hesitation, the algo tags them as high desperation. Once they are tagged, the system then deliberately stops showing them high-paying orders. The logic is, why pay this guy $15 for a run when we know he's desperate enough to do it for $6? We save the good tips for the casual drivers to hook them in and gamify their experience while the full-timers get grinded into dust. Then there is a benefit fee. You've probably seen that $1.50 regulatory response fee or driver's benefit fee that appeared on your bill after the recent labor laws passed. The wording is designed to make you feel like you're helping the worker. In reality, the money goes straight to a corporate slush fund used to lobby against driver unions. We have a specific internal cost center for policy defense, and that fee feeds directly into it. You are literally paying for the high-end lawyers that are fighting to keep your delivery guy homeless. And regarding tips, we're essentially doing tip theft 2.0. We don't steal them legally anymore because we got sued for that. Instead, we use predictive modeling to dynamically lower the base pay. If the algo predicts that you are a high tipper and you'll likely drop $10, it offers driver a measly $2 base pay. If you tip 0, it offers them $8 because base pay just to get the food moved. The result is that your generosity isn't rewarding the driver, it subsidizes us. You're paying their wage so we don't have to. I'm drunk and angry. Ask me anything before this gets taken down.
Damn.
I believe every word of that, I believe.
Yeah, so pretty fucked up.
Can't have nice things. No more DoorDash.
I assumed
Shit.
everything kind of operates at a purely profit-driven motive, but like it seems pretty evil. Yeah. Again, I don't know if that's true. Apparently, the CEO responded to that because that became such a huge thing.
Really? What'd they say?
All right.
They said, "This guy never worked for us."
Yeah.
Liar.
This is from the New York Post. DoorDash CEO. Oh, stop that. Responds to Reddit. Stop with all the pop-ups. Hold on. Okay. DoorDash CEO responds to Reddit post claiming app uses desperation score to set driver pay. Holy fucking shit, in quotes. DoorDash boss Tony Zhu unleashed an expletive-laden denial to a viral Reddit post accusing an unnamed food delivery app of barbaric practices, including a desperation score to determine how much it pays delivery work. The pop-ups are really making this unfun. The bombshell claims were floated by an anonymous Reddit user who claimed to be a fed-up developer for a major food delivery app who was posting on a burner laptop because I'm taking blah, 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 blah. You guys know that part. Where's the CEO's response? Holy fucking shit is right, Zhu wrote in an X post. This is not DoorDash, and I would fire anyone who promoted or tolerated that kind of culture described in this Reddit post. There's so much wrong with this post. What's described here is appalling, and if true, whoever is operating in this manner should be ashamed. The developer also claimed that priority delivery features in the food delivery app were a total scam, blah, 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 blah. Result is that... All right, so here's just the tweet. I'll just go to that. Holy fucking shit is right. This is not DoorDash, and I would fire anyone. There's so much wrong with this post. He says, Dashers are not human assets. Having a metric like desperation score is an abomination. We've never had a driver benefit fee. Why would you charge for faster delivery but not make it faster? We're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but we work every day to make our platform better for everyone who comes to it. What's described here is appalling, and if true, whoever is operating in this manner should be ashamed.
No chance. If you are charging a priority fee and I have the option to pay it, maybe you're not making my food come faster, but I'm certainly getting bumped above other orders, which is slowing down other orders. Like, it is essentially what the first guy said. You are slowing down other orders to make the first one seem faster.
Also, this response is not satisfying for me because he's doing a lot of, like, ignorance in this response. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, if this is happening, like, you're the fucking CEO.
How about,
you know,
here's what
anything.
we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And also, the other thing I think is that he was like, we don't have a desperation score. You could still have the same score named something different and say that sentence and have that be a truthful sentence.
Yeah.
Like, we call it the user something score.
Yeah.
Did we just turn off?
No, your volume cut out. I don't know. Tap on your mic. It might be on. Oh yeah, it's coming out the bottom.
Ooh.
There you go.
Sorry.
She's back. But yeah, I didn't think that was a satisfying response.
It's like, we don't call it the desperation score, we call it the poverty score.
Yeah.
The get fucked score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could successfully say that DoorDash just got all of our goats.
Yeah.
Right. That being said, I'm going to say that probably all these platforms do same or similar stuff.
Right. There's no chance that DoorDash does this and Uber Eats doesn't.
Right.
You know, it's like that they all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever get sponsored by honey.com?
Honey,
the discount saver coupon.
Oh no, I
thing.
thought you meant like the thing bees produce. I was like, sign me up.
Big honey.
Where do I get honey?
Big bees, really in our pockets.
There's hours of video essays on how honey. I don't know if I can talk about this on the podcast. Man, we'll get sued.
I say allegedly. And you're fine.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, there was scamming happening. Go watch it on YouTube. Google honey scam right after you Google Backpacker Radio. YouTube.
Okay.
Nice.
Fun stuff. Good. That turned into a long segment I wasn't expecting. But yeah, DoorDash getting goats. Mailbag.
Love the interview with the Wonder Woman. They are idols. And water bladder. Tip I saw and followed that works great is a fish tank aerator with a T/2 tubes to get it to air out faster. So for long-term storage, it's a chlorine water rinse followed by drying with the aerator on the counter until dry. Maybe a day. From Air Tank.
This is turning into a real subject.
Yeah. The people want to know.
People do want to know. You never know when we talk about something, the number of opinions that, or ideas, or...
No, it's always the thing you least expect.
Yeah. This is a 6-star review, which means it's technically a mailbag, but we'll put it in the 5-star review section. Hey, BPR, I was the test 5-star review I just heard you discussing in today's podcast. I tried submitting my review like 5 different times, and it never showed up. Not sure what else I can do to post. Below is the review. Again, I think you should read it in an episode, and since I can, I'll give you 6 stars. Title, 500 Hours of BPR. Hello, Zach and Chaunce. This podcast has been a hiking companion over many years on many thru hikes, keeping me entertained, inspired, informed, and occasionally screaming out loud. I have approximated how many hours and days I have spent listening to BPR podcast episodes over the years. My estimate is over 500 hours listening to your voices. Jesus. Ouch, I'm sorry. That's over 20 days. That's twice as long as watching every season of these series. Breaking Bad, Sopranos, The Wire, and Game of Thrones combined. Wow.
I'm so sorry.
That is...
You'll never get that time back.
Yeah. I have less than 60 remaining episodes before I'm done. Perhaps there should be a special sticker for when I finish. Keep up the great work. That's from Detour Outside.
I like the special sticker idea. I don't know how it would be effective.
Oh, I just was interpreting that as like, can I get a sticker?
No, like I've listened to every episode sticker. I've spent 500 plus hour listener.
We do like a Spotify. Then we're forcing people to listen on Spotify.
I don't know how we would ever...
Be an honor system sticker.
Yeah.
You get at store.trek.co.
Yeah.
We'll do like details to iron out.
We'll do a quiz. People have to answer the right questions to Backpacker Radio. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But nonetheless, Detour, thank you so much. You're the best. All of our listeners are the best, but you're the extra best. Mm-hmm. And you know who else is the extra best? Our Trek North? No, we have a sponsor, LMNT. LMNT really is the extra best.
Yes.
I'm currently double dipping on LMNT. There's one packet in here, and I'm drinking the sparkling. I drink LMNT every single day of my life. It is my life fuel. We didn't talk about this on this podcast. I talked about it in length in a previous podcast, but I got hyponatremia on the AT, and that fucking sucks. Basically, that's a condition of having too low sodium, which happens when you're sweating a lot and just replacing it with water. So that's why today's sponsor is so important. If you're sweating a lot, got to replace the sodium somehow. Doesn't have to be LMNT, though. If you want to get 8 free packs, use our vanity URL. But yeah, LMNT is great. Sugar-free. The flavors are awesome. The lemonade will change your life. What else is there to say?
The lemonade's really good. Great for hangovers. If you're not in the hiking season and you're like, why?
You're in
how do I
NFL playoff season.
How do I test this? Let it be known I forgot to bring LMNT to Mexico when I just went.
Ooh.
And there was a time.
I would ask them to turn the plane around.
There was a time when I was at the resort where I was like, I would kill a person to find a packet in my suitcase. Like maybe I wouldn't actually kill a person. That's really bad. You shouldn't do that. I
stash mine everywhere.
I really wanted one. I've got them in every pocket. But I had drank them all. I drank all my suitcase elements.
You know what?
And then I didn't have any.
I swapped out my backpack.
What a terrible feeling.
Oh, well, here we go. I found an old Snickers bar and an element.
Watch this. I bet I could do the same.
Jess, can you describe to the people what this Snickers bar feels like?
Oh, that's terrible to hold. Pancake.
There it is.
Pancake.
Nice, yeah.
So the essentials of life.
Take this from me.
We are real element lovers here on the podcast.
Cheeto
and you,
puff?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Is that a cheese puff?
Yeah, they're Cheeto. They're the extra big ones.
Let me get that. Oh, they're huge.
Yeah, they're really good. They're me and Harper's favorite. We go Cheeto for Cheeto.
Get a free sample pack with your order. drinklmnt.com/trek. Thank you to LMNT.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to our Chuck Norris Award winners. I'm going to wait to eat this Cheeto until after I do this.
I'll put it in like walruses while you do it. Do it. Do it for the people.
Okay.
For the YouTube. Okay, now read it while a walrus. Read it while a walrus. This is fun.
This is physically uncomfortable. A super big thank you to our Chuck Norris Award winners on Patreon. That is Alex and Misty, Navigators Crafting, Alex Kendall, Andrew, Austin McDaniel, Phil Jensen, Vladimir, Tony Ventures, Brent Woolens, a.k.a. Cruzy, Ryan Alsop,
Hey, boss.
Carla lost the hood. Christopher and Clint Hitler, Customer Outdoors. Eric
The
Carson.
friendly ghost.
Eric Harford, Ethan Harwell, Dunn, Jay and Daniels, Greg Knight, Greg Martin, Griffin Haywood, Ringleader, Andrew Buckingham,
Palace.
Jason Kaiser, Christian Rell, Christian Rell, Luke Nutjudge.
Welcome.
Email us and let us know if I'm butchering that. I'm sorry if I am. Matt from Gilbert, Arizona, Patrick DNCL, Rudder, Andy Sutherland, Rebecca Brave, Rural Brewer, Certified Expert, the St. Louis Island, Timothy Hunt,
Hello.
and Tracy Singer.
Good job. That was fun.
It was getting a little bit easier because they were getting soggy and compressing. Thanks to Paulie at Old Man Murph's Coffee Roasters. Like I said, I put it in a big order over Christmas, and those beans are very good. Go get yourself some delicious beans at ommcr.com. You can follow us on social at Backpacker Radio on Instagram and TikTok, at BackpackerPod on X, Facebook.com/BackpackerRadio. You can follow Jess
At Jess Hikes Trails on Instagram and YouTube.
Chaunce.
Juliana_Chauncey on Instagram, Juliana Chauncey on YouTube, and you can get my book Hiking from Home, a long distance hiking guide for family and friends on Amazon.
Appalachian Trail is my book. Chaunce and I be grateful for a review. Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube.
Hi, Internet.
That's it. Thank you so much for listening, and happy hiking.
Bye.
Bye.